due to your cooperation, mentorship, guidance and planning and blessings by the dignitaries like legendary respected C.V. Jha sir, Agnihotri sir, Jagdishwar sir, Madan sir and Vishnu Prasad Sharma ji from Assam. We are really grateful to you all for joining us, encouraging us, motivating us and inspiring us with contribution as a speaker, as an audience. Really overwhelming. Today is our 392nd webinar, and this topic, quantum medicine, was suggested by Dr. Vishnu Priya Das ji, and quantum theory was suggested by Dr. Bharat Chauragode from Bhopal. Unfortunately, he is busy with some part 1 in the college, so he is not with us today. He is the principal of Ayurvedic College there. So quantum word is important, and we would like to listen and learn from our speakers that what they want to say. Today's speakers are Madam Vishnu Priya Das ji, then Dr. Mahalakshmi S. from Chennai Homeopathy, and Vaidya Patankar ji. He will also join us later on. So, Dr. Mahalakshmi has been introduced by Dr. Prerna Jain from the same institute, Sairam Hospital of Homeopathy. So, welcome. I welcome you all again and would like to request Dr. Vishnu Prasad Sharma ji for his welcome address. Respected Dr. Vishnu Prasad Sharma ji. Sir, your audio is not joined.
Hi. Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir. Namaskar.
Should I start? Okay.
आवाज नहीं आ रही है आपकी।
Namaskar. My voice is audible now. Hello.
आवाज ठीक करें, आवाज ठीक नहीं आ रही है।
आवाज नहीं आ रहा है क्या हो गई? Hello. Good evening to everybody. Hello. Hello.
हाँ चलें, ठीक है।
ठीक है। Namaskar. Good evening to everybody. Respected Professor Sirija, respected Professor Madan Thannavalji, respected A.K. Agnihotri, respected Dr. Pawan Kumar Sharma, distinguished guests and speakers, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome all of you to this evening webinar on quantum medicine. Here we have eminent speaker, Professor Vishnu Priya Das, Dr. Patankar from Mumbai.
आवाज फिर
Dr.
डिस्टर्ब
Mahalakshmi
है, आवाज ठीक नहीं आ रही है।
from Chennai. So I welcome all the eminent speakers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, for this evening webinar on quantum medicine. And
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. In spite of technical glitches, I salute your zeal and passion to guide us at every webinar. Really great. I welcome you and salute you. Now I would like to request Professor C.V. Jha for his initial motivational, inspiring words. Respected CV Jha.
Thank you, Dr. Pawan ji. वास्तव में मैं भी सुनने के लिए अधिक जिज्ञासु हूँ आज। पहले तो सभी जितने विद्वान लोग इससे जुड़े हुए हैं कार्यक्रम से, सभी को मेरा प्रणाम। और इस विषय को जैसे जब से ये टॉपिक ध्यान में आया है तो इसके पीछे गुनधुन बराबर दिमाग में चल रहा है। और जैसा कि मानना है कि वह समग्र स्वास्थ्य और जिसको कि होलिस्टिक अप्रोच के माध्यम से और बिल्कुल सुरक्षित हम स्वास्थ्य प्रदान कर सकें, इस तरह का, उसमें भी मैन टू मैन, पर्सन टू पर्सन, और उसमें भी प्रकृतितः और विकृतितः ये सब विचार करते हुए, और सबसे जो है कि कैसे इक्विलिब्रियम स्टेट एस्टेब्लिश किया जाए। तो जैसे कहते हैं कि साम्यम प्रकृति रुच्यते, तो प्रकृति स्थापन किस तरह से हो, इसके बारे में शायद ये जो टॉपिक है वो उस पर संभव प्रकाश डाल सकेगा। तो मैं कुछ ज्यादा कहूँ तो सुनना ज्यादा पसंद करूंगा। मैं विदुषी इसमें विष्णुप्रिया जी और वैद्य महालक्ष्मी जी और राज पाटनकर साहब, तो इन लोगों को, विद्वान वक्ताओं को सुनना चाहूंगा। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं पवन जी से आग्रह करूंगा कि आगे के वक्ता को अवसर दें।
Thank you for your blessings, sir. Thank you. Your blessings are always inspiring for us. Now I would like to request our first speaker of the day, Dr. Vishnupriya Mohanty ji. She is professor and head in Gomantak Ayurvedic College, Shiroda, and she is every time blessing the platform. And now, today we would like to listen and learn about the quantum theory or medicines in Ayurveda. Welcome, madam. Welcome. I would like to welcome Stina Anderson from Sweden, at present in UK. Welcome, Stina. Welcome. Welcome, madam. Welcome. Vishnu Priya ji, welcome. Kindly and yes.
Sir, my slides are visible, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Guruvibhyo Namah. So, my regards to all seniors, the legendary personalities of Ayurveda. I pranam to CV Jha sir, and regards to all senior members of Independent Research Ethics Society. So today the topic is a little more sensitive, and before actually going to the topic, I like to request all of those who are listening to me that some points may click to us towards one another universe, and sometimes may looks contradictory. Just who those concepts keep reserved that it is my opinions, just can be leave it as such. But in the career of medical science, it has been observed that we are financially more sound, and with the gradual process of evolutions we become more intelligent. Brain matter has also increased. Hospital infrastructure has increased. Medical science has told like so-called well developed. But hierarchy is that we are not, simultaneously not able to catch exactly the result of those development. So there is a mismatch in the development of the so-called medical science and the list of diseases we are suffering. Therefore, it's need to little improvise or needs to see the so-called factors of development and making a connectivity, making a bridge in between the human needs, the social needs, our own presence in the society, and the list of diseases what we are suffering. This become a need, that how with a little or minimum amount of medicines or very less amount of medical interventions, how we can be free from disease or how we can lead a fruitful life. Because we can see now birth and death, B and D, is available in the hospitals. And in between, we are just trying to live. We are just trying to match or continue our life. Therefore, looking into the science of looking in the classics of Ayurveda, we can see there are many such hints how adravyabhuta chikitsa, or there is no medicines, non-physical treatment, can be a great asset for providing the health. So this was the main background. I continue to thought, or I continue to just think about the non-physical medicines or the quantum medicines. So by the term, the quantum itself is like a very fractions. So very part-wise things. So that fractions, how can that packet of atoms, how can just vibrate within us, how we receive those atomic vibrations or the energy vibrations around to us, and how we can measure those energy. So it's the concept sometimes contradict to the so-called science of Newtonian theories, that is E equal to mc squares. But according to the Vedic literature,
सॉरी मैडम, पवन जी आपका साउंड चालू है, जरा अनम्यूट कीजिए ना. ओके, थैंक यू.
So the Vedic literatures little bit contrast to the so-called Newtonian theory, because Vedic concepts explain that we all are under one consciousness, so which is called as universe or the Paramatma itself. And we are the part of that consciousness, the individual consciousness within us that always interact to each other. And that's the real balance of the whole universe itself. So those spectra interact on us, impact on us, and that's the way we make or maintain our relationship with the universe or the atmospheres and within the biospheres. And that consciousness is the individual consciousness actually differ from one person to another person. So so-called health definition teaches us through the classics. There is either the physicals or the mental, because I just divided into the hardware, the physical one, and within that hardware, a software has fitted, that is including the Indriya, Sattva and Atma. As we keep our mobile under the hotspot for the continuity of online connectivity, similarly, we need to continue the connectivity of the software within our systems with that galaxy. So galaxy is the mobile hotspot. So for the continuity of the consciousness flow inside the human systems, we each and individual persons should expose ourselves to the Akasa Tattva. So Akasa is it not just the sky, Akasa Tattva in the sense we should keep something empty, something spacious. So the emptiness have a platform of creativity. So the basic understandings of quantum consciousness, the quantum medicines, is little bit different. How we routinely understand about the dosha dhatumala or the changes inside the dosha dhatumala. But it doesn't mean that the things is not existing. So it is each and every person has realized that new and new innovations of micromolecules in the medicines or in the pharmaceutical sectors cannot give 100% result of the clinical practice or in the clinical achievement. Therefore, I just like to draw all of your attentions going through how the quantum medicines is essential, what it means, how the pathology works inside the systems, and how the quantum medicine can correct it. There are some are hypotheses, some are I already started with my clinical practice. Those way the whole presentations will be synchronized. So that's the brief about the today's presentations. So continuing to the next or the real introducing the quantum concept, that is the universe is made from some atoms that actually we can say a contrast opinions or the contrast understandings what has written as a Maya and Brahma here in our Vedic literatures or the IRES Ayush concept, and what is there in the quantum physics. So they speak that as a atom bombard to each others. What is also in the Vaiseshika Darsana, that ek anu strike with another anu, another paramanu, then dvayanuka, then trayanuka, chaturanuka. That way the universe has evolved. So inside our systems, every creation goes through that atomic bombardings. It is not the inside, it is also the outside. So those bombarding segregated, and then it comes to a physical existence of a matters. And when one fact is in front of two observers receiving those energetic or the waves from the energy might be different. It not might be, actually it's different. Why? Because perception is different. So that's the way one individual person is different from another individual person, even though we are under the same consciousness. So the whole Brahmanda is created, dissolved again and again because of this process of atomic bombardment. And what is there in the quantum physics? They try to understand the universal evolutions, that the one atom bind togetherly, make the planets, stars, or the whole universe itself. And time may comes, they disintegrate themselves and they merge with the consciousness again. There is much similarity in between the Vedanta philosophy and nowadays what the scientists has tried to understand in terms of quantum physics. So we should not just stand vice versa. It's a very, because if it's a truth is always same. Just we need to change our level of understandings. So it is written in the Charak Samhita that the Chetana Tattva, it is different from the, that is a Eka number and Bahu in numbers. So Jivatma or Paramatma. Jivatma in the sense it's trapped within the physical body and the psychology. That is a Jivatma, that is an individual consciousness. So Jivatma is nothing but separated from the Supreme Paramatma, and again merge at the end, they are in the Supreme Consciousness. So when Jiva realized that these are the different variety of atomic bombardment, and I am not related to those things, that is called Isavasya Upanishadam. So Isavasyam idam sarvam. So it is everything has kept ready-made for us. We have to just unfold the consciousness and increase the level of consciousness, and we become a conscious, or we can merge within that conscious levels. That is called as actually the yoga. So when the Jiva realized its own state of nirvana, that I am something else, it will start to behave beyond to the time, space, and mind. So mind, no mind. It will start to receive those waves from the energy actively work around to us within the universe where we are staying, it means our mind is working. So which can be expressed in by words. तो शब्द में बोला गया सारे चीज मिथ्या है. Anything I am speaking in the words, it means all are wrong. It means what is truth? So truth is something beyond to the time, space, and mind. So it is completely contrast how routinely we understand about the words. That's why I always used to speak. There are three things. One is error, second is truth, third is reality. So what is error? We have less amount of observations. So to get the knowledge of quantum medicines, we need much amount of observation. And much observation with less amount of reasonings, that is actually may leads to error or some mistakes in the understandings. If we have much amount of observations and there is little bit need of reasonings, that is truth. What routinely we believe on that truth. But sometimes after knowing the truth, that is like we say sometimes, 2 plus 3 equal to 23, enjoy. I don't bother about it. It means a level of consciousness I develop. I never put any question mark to my friend circles. So that is the next convergence, which should be leveled as a reality. So when we come to the level of reality, we never see any enemy. So that's it. Atomic bombardments, or it is actually written in the theory of leptagon. So atom again the fine particles. So if we'll speak, there's a jumping of leptagon. It is one person to another person. So when I am looking into another person who is totally enemy to me, if I am able to see the quantum levels of that person's, then definitely I will not see any differentiations. So that's a universal truth of friendshipness or universal truth of uniqueness. And that only possible when Jiva realize the level of nirvana or the path of nirvana. So it is not like so that nirvana will come once upon a time after the death. Many times in the human life, we experience some things more happy. We may not express those things. That is, we are actually trying to link with the consciousness. So it is the whole play of linking or delinking with the conscious levels. When someone deeply understands that consciousness, then there is there is no individuality. That's why that is very feelings of reality, the understandings of reality. So infinity or the multiplicity cannot be understood by the finite things. Therefore, to be very truth, if anybody will ask what is quantum medicines, it cannot be explainable. It's just perceptible. So with that bit in introductions, we'll enter into some other way how we can understand the quantum medicines, how the quantum consciousness works, and the universe where we are, how those impact on us. We know that when we travel to a temple, we should ring the bell. So what is the reason behind it? Because we just create some waves in the atmospheres. That is, we just create the waves on the air, and those sound waves helps us to settle down the different variety of brain waves. And that's the way we can quietly, we can make a good relationship in between the right brain and left brain. So if anybody interested to increase the quantum healing within the systems with one individual effort, then just use the left part of the body maximum time in a day. So here we can see how the sound vibrations or the echo mode sustain in the air, and that those amount of time we should sit inside the temple to receive those sounds. So the sound waves helps to make an equilibrium, a co-relationship, a good bond within the right part of the brain and left part of the brain. So sustainably, if you use the left part of our body, then the right brain will remain activated, and right brain works like a parallel processors in the computers. So serial processor and parallel processor. Serial processor like boss ship. So the boss ship like I am supremes. So those variety of ego and supremacy comes from the left brain. Serial, one after another. Pehle, initially the big peoples will take the food, and then the junior category peoples. It is not like so. So the right brains, that is serial processor, like we can go for the Tata company, any hospitals, they are immediately the patient comes in an emergency, each person's in the systems will activate simultaneously. Like it is not the Kedara Kulya Nyaya, it is like Ekakala Dhatu Poshana Nyaya. So at a timely, how each and every cell in our systems can activate, that can be learned from quantum medicines. So it is being a part of the whole supreme consciousness. We should integrated our systems for a one-time impulse, one-time stimulations, and one-time alertness to achieve those energy, to achieve those vibrations from the universe around to us. So to just concise, to be very brief, that what is exactly to understand with a layman language, that experiencing energy throughout 24/7 is called as quantum medicines or quantum consciousness. Many times we get relaxed. We just fix ourselves. Itne baje khana hai, itne baje utna hai, itne baje sona hai. So sometimes we get kicked, but we may not maintain those. Sustainability within 24/7 or 365 days with such level of energy is called as quantum consciousness. Or working out of all those attractions of power, money, and chair with all sorts of enthusiasms, that is called as quantum medicines. Intelligent beyond to the compassion. Be more interacting, growing in the resources, not growing in the comfortability of the service. Understanding who am I, understanding what are the energy entering into my systems, understanding who is taking care of me, understanding who are appreciating me, which statement is exciting me, how I should be gratitude enough to all those contributory persons. So knowledge advances are not just to repeat those things, but refute those existing concepts and trying to understand those such a variety of soft skill around to us. And of course, it need and just not to listen, it's not just a transactions. Once we are listening to the concept of quantum medicine, we can able to understand everything. It's not like a transactions. It's a matter to do a tapa. Tapa in the sense, we be involved with that. We just deep into that. We just experience it. We just will not say sorry to anybody else. I live with the sorry. I'll experience those sorry. Then only I can do something different than my previously wrong experimentations or wrong behaviors. So be kind to yourselves. Try to understand what are the things one individual person has. That is the way of increasing life expectancy. Or the birth and death will be not in the hospitals. Each and every moment we can enjoy, and we might be somebody else, something else. And I hope this will be a shortcut and zero investment IUS project for bringing the health or reverting the health into the systems. And coming to the next, I kept this is the spectra of the single photo emissions counted tomography, computer tomography. So how it has taken at if a drug abuse persons, then this variety of changes we can see that how the brain receive those impulses, and by the decaying process it sometimes fail to receive, and gradually the dementia or such variety of personality problems can arise. So it is the whole way how we are reacting or responding to the external vibrations. So all those vibrations from the energy, what to receive, what to respond, what to react, and how to react, those all depends on our own, that's a practice, how we practice those things. So sometimes I make a joke that relationship तो हर दिन बढ़ता है. लोग कभी कभी बोलता है ना रिलेशन खत्म हो गया, वो कभी खत्म नहीं होता है. So it never actually come to end. Relationship always go on, increasing and increasing. Matter is that what we are putting daily to the relationship. So daily what we are putting to the relationship, that is costly. Then how we can say that the relationship will be either sweet or bitter. So what we are putting, that is much important. So be a, like chowkidar. That is, be a person strictly watch how the energy vibrations are entering into my systems. So this I like to say that we can see that's the same persons. Both are like depressive ones, but still, even though both patients are considered as a depressive patient, but you can see the changes are not same. That is showing that quantum aspect in these persons is good, because even though they are in a depressive atmospheres, depressive organizations, depressive working area, but how this person react, it's definitely different from these persons. So these persons have that resiliency. So what is written in Charaksandha Sutrasthana 12? That each and every tissue or the dhatu should have their own resiliency. And Bikruta dosa might be inside the systems. If the resiliency is there, Bikruta dosa cannot create disease. That is the concept of quantum consciousness. That how much quantum consciousness one individual persons, accordingly, he will suffer the disease, or he will live comfortably with the disease, or he can eradicate the disease. This all depends upon the individual own power. What was Purusam Bhiksham Sagyam Visakuttamam. So that might be a concept of individual medicines here. So it is just I have given that how a ray or light or a vibrations approaches to the individual persons are receivers. The receivers receives in multiple way. This is actually examples of what is the particular wavelength to see the objects. But I just tried to, I unable to get exact image. So this is just to how something is there, but when the observer varies, then the observation of the perceptions will definitely vary. It is not depends upon the actual existence of the object. Here one example I like to say that sometimes little problem we face, that exactly how it works, quantum medicine, how it works. So some scientists used to say, what is nature or natural phenomena, that itself is the quantum concept. So what is natural phenomena? It means we have to stay with the nature. So what is the nature? How it is going on? See, this is the camel. Camel have the eyelid, but completely transparent eyelid. Why? Because naturally camel live in the desert area, and there is a wind can carry the soil, and that's why by closing the eye, camel can watch. Similarly, we know that the snake doesn't have the coronary circulations. In fact, after the operations, we keep the holes there. We create the holes in human heart too. So it means to say that we are the part of nature. So trying to keep ourselves out of the natures or distant from the natures, how much distance is directly proportional to the amount of or numbers of diseases affecting to the human civilizations. So that is again one message of quantum medicines, that quantum medicine only can be understood if we'll closely watch to the nature or the natural reactions even within the system. So within the systems, what are the different natural reactions goes on? So this is a slide how we can understand that only one ray, that is only one hetu, when attack with or treated with those variety of nidana, that is might be sangha, might be sanchaya, might be avarodha, those all are the media, those all are the obstructions through which the projections of diseases are varying. So the concept written in our classics that dosas are 3, the dhatus are 7, but the sannikarsa or sannipata samyoga lead to the multiple numbers of diseases. So how we are reacting, how we are responding to the vibrations around to us, that is the quantum pathology. That is the way the pathology starts within. So if we will make the people's much consciousness about those variety of pathology, we can increase the resiliency and the spectrum might be reduces, or the list of disease can be minimized. And proceeding to the next slide, here one things, this we have discussed many times, that how the physical exercise or the vyayama helps to release the myokines or all these variety of anti-inflammatory agents and make the body fit physically. Now, another point I can put here, that after around 9 months, the baby come out from the body, uterus. Now, if these questions I will ask in the classroom, students have many answers. That placenta become matured, oxytocin starts to secrete. These all answer may satisfy the why there is a labor pain starts, but according to the principle of quantum consciousness or quantum medicines, the protein integrals in the cell wall is actually resemble, we can keep a synonymous word, that the protein integrals are individual consciousness, or which is called a jivatma. Because each and every cell there is the existence of Paramatma. Each and every cell there is the existence of universal responses or signals. So the signals from the space, the signals from the universe, the signal from the supreme consciousness actually received and processed by the protein integral itself. So when the protein integral conscious about the supreme consciousness, then actually the labor pain starts. And that's the way when a person have excess morbid factor within the systems or the abnormal santarpana pathology, then the protein integral just deep into the cell. So cell membranes just dipped within. Then the protein integral unable to pass those signals to the nearby atmospheres, to the nearby cells. Therefore, the perceptions, the consciousness at the physical body as well as the psychological levels reduces. So we can observe the stolya person, the obese persons, little bit less alert, or the enthusiasm level in those persons is little bit less. So this is because of the protein integrals are deep in the fluid levels, or the inflammatory markers increases, and that is the pathology behind the less amount of consciousness. And proceeding to the how the other way we can understand that there is the dosa, bata dosa, which is Vibhu, which is Asukari, which is very Balavan. And we know that have a capacity to do any changes, chemical or physical changes to the Pitta and Kapha. And that's why the Vata dosa has, respected as Bhagavan, etc. Those variety of terms has kept. So that Balavan Vata dosa is actually related to the prerana, related to the enthusiasm, related to the consciousness. Very, very fascinating way it has written in our classics that Vyana Vayu related to the brushing of tooth. So when we brush the tooth, which Vata dosa remain active? When we brush the tooth, the Vyana Vayu remain active. It means to say that if any person is failed to get up from the bed at early morning, initially he should take the brush and brush the tooth. So brushing the tooth, to neend chhut jata hai. Why? Because Vyana Vayu starts to active. The whole circulation restarted. So that's the way we can develop our own individual consciousness. Many times we fail to get kicked to get up early morning. So those are the small things, how we can train ourselves and we can just actualize the internal structures of our body. This is already I have discussed in the concept of Vyayama. So how we can mobilize the adipose tissue to increase the conscious level within us. Similarly, this is a concept in our Charak Sutrasthana 16 chapters, that is Swabhataha Uparama or Vinasa of the disease. It is a little hard by listenings. That will not do anything else for the disease, and disease will subside automatically. That is called quantum healing. That is called quantum medicines. Is it possible? Will not do anything else and the disease will automatically subsided? Yes. This is the miracle of the quantum medicine concept. That if there is the Vata Vriddhi, will not do anything with the Vata dosa. Will do everything for the Kapha dosa. So do increase the Snigdha guna, do increase something for the Guru guna, do increase something for the Usna guna. These increase of the Guru, Snigdha, Usna guna automatically subsided the Vata dosa or Vata Vriddhi. That is called quantum healing. So this is the things of, we know about the intermittent fastings, we know about the fingering and all, how we can increase the circulations in the lymphatic flow, how we can demobilize the accumulated fat, or we can increase the numbers of insulin receptor cell in case of insulinemia. These all are the hidden concept of Swabhava Paramvada or quantum healing. So we can advise a obese person, sit with your meal, but each bolus should be chewed at least for 21 times. By chewing one bolus for 21 times, create the mechanical energy. That mechanical energy will utilize the deposited fat or deposited metabolites within the system. And the amount taken by the persons to consume may not be taken fully. So don't say to any obese persons that take little amount of food. Instead, we can advise the concept of quantum medicines to that persons. And within the 10 minutes, the signal from the stomach to the brain will be, and the persons will feel the completeness of the stomach. There is again one another advantage. So Swabhataha Uparama or Vinasa of that disease is actual the essence of quantum healing written in Charak Samhita. And proceeding to next, that what are the other way we can hit or we can practice quantum medicines in our day-to-day life. So very important asset we have, that is by knowing who am I. So I am in the team, I am in the family, I am in the universe, I am in the village, I am in my organizations. But instead I should understand who am I. The moment I will ask these questions, who are you? They will take some name. This is your name. I have not asked your name. I have asked, who am I? So by discarding all those things, Makachidam, Prachidam, that is the concept. So just do the Chedana, the excisance of all those external relationships and trying to restructurizing what are within. That is the biggest keyword of practicing quantum medicines. Because we can counsel ourselves. We can empower ourselves. We can see within. Because we are the, son and daughter or the product of Nrsimha avatar. So Nrsimha is our parents. We forgot those lion attitude within us. So those all attitudes can be renovated within if we can think about these questions every day, every moment. Who am I? औकात में रहो, ऐसा बोला जाता है. Of course, when I can understand who am I, then only I can within that boundary. So the first exposition to the universe, either after the delivery or every day when we get up from the bed, I should recall that who am I? मैं औकात में हूँ कि नहीं हूँ? That is much essential part to train individually or to train myself about the quantum medicines. So that's what I discussed, that how we can work in a big organizations with the whole consciousness of protein integrals. That pathway will be good, the perception will be good, the response to the peoples who are coming to talk with me, the peoples who are taking some, making a bridge with me, I can receive properly, I can, respond properly, and that will be in a big amount of contributions to the family, to the organization, to the society too. So if we'll think about the Sannipat or Sangyoga Sannikara, etc., all these variety of permutation and combinations. So each individual persons have their own permutation and combinations, and the vibrations coming from the energy, coming from the packet of atoms. That it depends upon the compatibility, wholesome approach or unwholesome approach. So which is called as Satmyata, Asatmyata, or Okasatmyata. So those all are depends upon practice, not at all a individual one-time experience. So it is a practice-based evidence medicines. And it cannot be just challenged always within the laboratory, within the experiments, within the test tube itself. So the moment when we are putting all those concepts in the test tubes, we actually damage all these concepts of Svabhava Paramvada or quantum healing. Therefore, we are unable to see that one disease affecting to 20 people in 20 manners need 20 variety of treatments. A patient approaching to me will not get the cure. It is not always the problem of the patient. I should also think, is there any karma phala behind to me, that even though that patient is approaching me, I am unable to give a treatment to that patient. So it is the whole deals, the chain of deals of previous life to this life to the next lives, from one living object to the non-living objects. This is a mobile I have, that mobile so-called non-living, but each and every atomic arrangement within that mobiles also depends upon their own karma and karma phala, because it belongs to me. So I can speak to them, I can react to them, they can react to me, and we can receive those vibrations too. So little different to the routine experiences, but the people who are start to experience, they definitely enjoy the vibrations. They definitely enjoy the, the energy are coming, going out, reacting to me, नींद से उठा रहा है, नींद में सुला रहा है, all those things we can see. And this is a way to measure. This is not the only one way, I should say. This is only, just a simple way we can understand partially, that is how we can check ourselves with such all variety of different emotions. So it is tally with the wavelengths, the colors. So it can just, I have taken from the internet because I was just searching that. Of course, we know, everybody understands that something like consciousness, some things like quantum medicines, but without showing some measurement parameters, it's a little tough to explain the things. So I took that and that's the way to trying to understand. So our traditions has that trained of practicing quantum medicines by remaining close towards the nature. So cooking, that's a very close to the nature. There is no artificialness. Taking some things in the naturally available metals, not any alloy. Naturally available metals, either it's a gold, either it's a silver, either it's a mud pot itself. So that is naturally available. As much amount of natural connectivity of our body tissue and atmospheric tissue and atmospheric, atom and all, then it will be a good bridge or a good way to build up more and more quantum consciousness within. This I always like to introduce the dance, the traditional dance. So we all know that by holding ourselves in the steps of like Bharatanatyams, or here we can see that the psoas major is holding the whole body. So psoas major, the biggest muscles in human systems. And if it hold, then during that diastolic pressure, the blood supply to the heart, or especially to the coronary circulations. So coronary circulation receive the blood during diastolic. There is no need of projecting the blood or ejecting the blood. No pressure, no pressure. Mind the word. So if no pressure, then how the blood could be? So the false dogmas is still in the medical systems. So as much amount of block in the coronary circulations, if some way, then more numbers of collateral circulation will be. So this is one benefit. Second benefit, there are some steps in the dance. We uphold the respirations. So when we restrict the respirations, more numbers of alveoli starts to active. Just yesterday I was speaking that when we'll open the lungs, we'll spread the alveoli, it will cover the 500 square meter of area. And throughout our life, we just use 1/8 part of lungs. So rest 7/8 part of lungs, we just live as such after the death. It means to say that if we can reduce the numbers of heartbeat, if we can reduce the numbers of respiration rate, like tortoise or elephant, then we can reduce the free radical generations or the oxidation process within the system, and we can have a long life. So without medicines, that is the quantum treatment, that how we can educate our systems, how we can just involve ourselves under the pranayama and brahmani pranayama, etc. And we can create some sabda chikitsa, the vibration that sounds within the brain, and that equilibriums of the dosha dhatu and mala is possible. See, there are some sources very naturally available, like sun, like water, like air. So, those all things also correct our systems. So the limbic system, the whole orchestra of human systems, that is governed by the solar energy. So sometimes in a day, at least for 5 minutes, we should look into the sun. And there are some way the research claim that we may not need food. Just by transferring the energy from the sun, we can be more healthy, or the similar benefit by taking the food also can be obtained by such variety of natural sources. That is a quantum medicines, that how our systems naturally integrated to each other. This is repeatedly, the very important concept, that there should be some shastra karma during Krishna Paksha. Krishna Paksha rakshishon ka time hai. So marna, katna, hanna. So ye sare, all these activities should be during the Krishna Paksha. So because Krishna Paksha, there is less bleedings. So our human systems have maximum amount of liquid or fluid, or the water percentage more. So therefore, the tides has increased during the full moon or no moon. Similarly, our systems, our fluid system inside the body also changes. So quantum medicines teaches us, be touched to the natures and do the shastra karma according. Then we can save the bleedings in a major surgery. So at least we can avoid the major surgery, the plant surgery. This is the way how we can create the sabda, the vibrations, and from the swara itself, we can treat many diseases. So makaranta sabda or visarganta sabda, that can be a protocol or research protocol, zero investment Ayush project for propagating health. A patient of constipations should be treated by chanting the visarganta sabda, because visarganta sabda create more pressure to the lower pelvic regions. So makaranta sabda, mang, kang, khang, these create more vibration to the umbilical regions, ignited the digestive systems. So this is not the single way. Mantra chikitsa. So mantra chikitsa, by vibrating the third chakra. So mantra chikitsa, the visuddha chakra, the agya chakra, so those chakras get stimulated by the sabda chikitsa, and it become a very, very well-proved concept. Now, point is that who is ready to practice, they are getting benefit. That is again a part of quantum medicines. And how it works, there are some way to understand, as we have understood about the inflammatory markers concept. So there are the electromagnetic wave which also pass through our body. But as I have told, that if we'll keep our systems, if we'll keep our thought process little empty, little spacious, then those things can work. Sometimes we never listen to the peoples. We never listen to our body. We never listen to the response or signals of our body. Then definitely face the problems. So let the things little emptiness, little, कुछ लोग ऐसा बोल देते हैं, मैं ऐसा हूँ, लोग समझते हैं मुझे. Please kind to the others peoples. Please keep some space. Don't be so selfish. Don't speak like such sentence. मैं ऐसा ही हूँ. No. You should understand others also. You should keep some space for the others. That is the way how the vibration from other peoples react within our systems. So we can receive the peoples, we can understand those peoples. And there are some other way, I try to keep here how the quantum consciousness work within that. key word of the way or the mechanisms is self-awareness. No any other way we can understand how quantum medicines works. So self-awareness, how we can do? So self-awareness is like, as you know, when we get up from the bed early mornings, see the mirror, we just start to memorize the all variety of external relationship. So of course, external relationship are essential to continue the life. But we should not forget there is some consciousness within. So that individual consciousness is the spiritual consciousness. So what is spirituality? ऐसा क्वेश्चन पूछा जा सकता है. So what is spirituality? Spirit within the rituals. So if there is no spirit within the rituals, don't do those rituals. If we are not getting any kick, if we are not getting any spirit from the rituals. So if I'm getting any kick from the rituals, that is spiritual. So I should continue that, yajna, that homa within myself, that I should always have a continuity of spirits. And all those things might be brushing tooth, or wearing some money, just combing the hair, all those will be the rituals. From wherever I am getting kicked, from wherever I can able to increase my spirit. And that is the way. So the measurement of all those things are again by mind itself. And of course, which mind? The mind which is joined with the consciousness. So I sometimes say, what is consciousness? Consciousness equal to the soul, the Atma plus Mana. That is the best way to understand. Because without Mana, Atma cannot work. So Atmagyaha, Karanair yoga tasya jnanam pravartate. Tasya kasya tasya atmasya jnanam, Karana sanjogat pravartate. If Karana sanjogat pravartate, so Vaimalyat, Karana Vaimalyat. So how we can make a Bimalata, clean and clarity in the Indriya, in the sense organs. That is only when it governed by the Atma and Mana. That's why Atma and Mana both are called as Adhyatma Dravya. So in the first slide I shown, there is a Adhyatma Dravya. What is Adhyatma Dravya? Atma and Mana. From the first chapter, Charak Samhita, Sutra Sthana, the Adhyatmika, Adidhaivika, Adibhaudika, any problem come in the human life should be solved in these three categories. इसका आध्यात्मिक समाधान चाहिए, ये ले लो. इसका आदिभौतिक समाधान चाहिए, ये ले लो. इसका आदिदैविक समाधान चाहिए, ये ले लो. So we should have those all facilities of solutions. So quantum medicines is a permanent solutions for all those variety of diseases. That's why quantum consciousness is the parama ausadha. Is the best treatment. Therefore it has written, Dhi, Dhairya, Atma, Vijnana, Manados, Ausadam, Param. So Manados ka ausad dena hai, to param ausad dijiye. And what is parama ausadha? Atma Vijnanam. No higher in the Charak Samhita, it has written Manasa Vijnana. So Ayush department is carrying the Manasa department. There should be Atma department. So Atma Vijnanam. That is how we can structuralize our consciousness. Because this is the department. This is the subject. We are just making a copy paste to the so-called contemporary medical science. And we are just doing manipulations to our systems. So we hardly understand the message of Ayurveda. We hardly understand the message of consciousness. We hardly understand the message of quantum medicine from those variety of shlokas. Proceeding to the next slide, this is the way how the received vibrations works within the systems. We all know the axis how work in the systems. So those axes can help us to understand the emotional values of vibrations to the physical corrections inside the systems in terms of the chemical changes and all. And then it can create a functional changes. Slowly it bring the physical changes too. We know that when we expose to a flight reactions, then the endocrine system remain active and the adrenal gland remain active. But now we have transformed ourselves from the jungle to the organizations. अभी जंगल में रहते थे, लायन आता था, लायन को देख के हम डरते थे. डरने के टाइम पर शुगर रिलीज होता था और शुगर को हमको मदद करता था लायन से भागने के लिए. Now we are staying in the organizations, each and every member in the department are lion to me. कहाँ कहाँ मैं भागूं? So I am not going out of that. So my sugar is not utilized, and therefore the diseases are there. So I have to train enough myself that how I can live with my own consciousness, that I am nothing. औकात में रहो. So I am the just part of supreme consciousness. Nobody is my, nobody is my friend, even nobody is my enemy. So these all things are sometimes belongs to somebody else. Now I am the custodian of that, and tomorrow somebody else. Therefore, it is essential to understand the quantum medicines to decrease the stress factors. So how we can actualize the quantum medicines to decrease the stress factors? I hope anybody can go through the slide, and these are the routine way how we introduce the stress and the stress factors work in the systems. Now, how we get kicked? Even though this is a standing lady with all sorts of energy and all, but this is not the physical exaggerations. This is the point we should think, that how this position should be a savasana. It is not savasana, of course we all know, but we should train ourselves that even in a very active periods, active interaction periods, we are in a savasana position. Within the systems, we are very cool and calm. That's why tanme mana siva sankalpam astu. So how it can be? It cannot be a transaction way of learning. It should be a practice-based learnings. So you can see the ocean. More vibration are there in the seashore. But watching the sea at its deepest level, it is always cool and calm. That is called quantum medicine. And we can see here that there is a long course of journey through which we can learn, we can adopt those process to receive the vibrations from the people around to us, from the thought process around to us, from the plants around to us, even the non-living around to us. And there is no limit for it. So trying to receive feelings of feelings. What are the feelings going on? Trying to receive those feelings. Keep a matter. Have a value. Have a power of changing the energy within us. सब लोगों ने देखा होगा हिंदी पिक्चर में एक बार ठास लगाया गाल में 3 दिन तक वो सीरियल चलता है, ठास 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 करके मारता है. It is the way how we are receiving those reactions, how the things are coming to us. So that is the way we can able to shift those energy and matching with our focus levels and receiving those things to change the chemical reactions, even the physical structure of our systems. So this all way how the endocrine system, the stress factors works, and we are very acquainted with those things. So I'm just passing to the next concept, that how we can do actively work, or how we can remain more active to change ourselves or to train ourselves by the quantum medicines. Unless and until we will not come to that level of Atta Maja Satakli. I am fed out of the antibiotics. I am fed out of the hospitals. I am fed out the whole system of medicines or theory, what my teacher has taught to me. After 20 years of clinical experiences, I feel that if I'm giving a anti-diabetic medicines after a course of periods, the person should come out of the diabetes. But can anybody show me a case of diabetic patient after taking the metformin tablet, after some particular variety of years, the patient is free from diabetes? The patient is free from blood pressures after taking antihypertensive medicines? No. Then how we can receive those as a medicine? So what could be the real medicines? Observing the responses of the environment. Trying to nourish our systems with the whole consciousness of the supreme power. I'm not speaking the physical body never need the food and all, but the conversion within the systems. So food and all are the pradhanik karana. We forget about the vyanjaka karana. Gurvadi guna are important, but paradi guna are much important. So paradi guna are considered as the chikitsakiya guna, because paradi guna can change the picture of guruvadi guna. Wahi dahi guru hai, but the buttermilk is not guru, because churning process has just depresses all the quality of dahi. Paddy is heavy to digest, but the lyo, that is not heavy to digest. So we make a change. So our infrastructures, our physical body, our hardware might be same, but changes in the software is always possible, and with a due course of practice, definitely we can bring the concept into a better way. And definition of life is the trapping of consciousness with the physical body and emotions. And what is death? What is liberty? What is nirvana? That when we understand unfolding those consciousness into the next level of connecting to the supreme consciousness and individual consciousness 24/7, 365 days. That is the highest versions of individual persons. And without the attitude of Atta Maja Satakli, it is not possible. So that the level of confining ourselves, be strong what you have decided. If I have decided that my human life is more precious, if I have understood that my consciousness is more precious, I can do something good for my consciousness, I can spread those messages of consciousness to the people around to me. So देर तक नहीं दूर तक भी हम ये काम कर सकते हैं. इसीलिए द डायलॉग ऑफ सलमान खान दैट एक बार अगर मैंने डिसाइड कर लिया तो मैं खुद का भी नहीं सुनता हूं. दैट इज द अंडरस्टैंडिंग द क्वांटम मेडिसिन्स. So what amount of sacrifice I may do, I have to do. I have to understand what many numbers of turbulence may come, Vaisamyata may comes, the arrogancy may comes, but it will be definitely come into in a zero levels. It can come to nullify when we will work sustainably on that particular area. So एक ही जगह पर खुदाई करते 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 कुआं एक दिन खुदेगा और एक दिन पानी निकलेगा. Similarly, we can understand the quantum medicines if we'll give a close watch of the amount of energy go and flow. I have to just quietly watch on them as a custodian of my whole life. So the feedback is that whatever I am passing, those all will return to me, either in terms of any emotions or in terms of some finance, in terms of some variety of other achievements. But feedback is directly proportional to the vibrations what I am passing to the atmospheres. Atmosphere in the sense to the other peoples, to the family members, to the persons in my department and all. So this is also one way how we can increase our quantum the quantum consciousness, and we can make fit for the quantum medicines. So when we'll become rejected by some peoples, by some organizations, by some relationships, many a time we fail to think about ourselves. मुझसे कुछ नहीं होगा. That variety of feelings comes, but hardly we understand. अब हम सोच लीजिए पांडव के साथ कितना कुछ नहीं हुआ है. All the wrong things and happens, but they have not think about those all memory into a wrong way. They just try to take those positive aspects of memory. So it's a good memory or bad memory. Every day we should collect those all good memory, make a heap of or empire of all those good memory, and then pathology starts. So those all good memory vibrate our good way, or the brain cells, or as I have told, to the right part of the brain, and that way a good endocrinal secretions, and that reflected through our emotions, reflected through the behaviors, reflected through our attitude too. Then it also comes to the external relationships. So the enlightenment itself is the quantum consciousness, making the connectivity that where I have more freedoms, where I can nurture my quantum consciousness, where I should work. So it is whole play is with the I within. It is we within the I. It means even though we are speaking individual, it is I. Actually, it is not I. I have to see the whole multiple numbers of universe. So I actually keep another slide too. That is how the Bal Krishna के माउथ में यशोदा पूरा यूनिवर्स को देखा. So it is symbolically representing that we, the human beings, are not actually universe. It is the multiverse. So this is sometimes we speak some things, good words or bad words. According to the quantum medicines, आप चाहो या ना चाहो, लेकिन हमेशा अच्छा बोलो. Always speak good things. Always speak positive things. Those all positive things will definitely create those all positive molecules, positive atoms segregated around to you, and they will come. All positive things will happen. So जानबूझ के गुस्सा से भी कभी गलत शब्द नहीं बोलने का, because that have a energy, that have a vibration, and that can bring a changes to the matter. Problem is that because quantum consciousness explain that matters are not made out of the matter. Matters are made out of the energy. So energy segregations give a shape. In condensations, we say it as a matter. Therefore, every day, if a patient is coming to me, I will treat by quantum medicines. What I will say? That I am healthy, I am healthy, I am healthy, I am healthy. 24/7, speak, I am healthy, I am healthy, you will be healthy. That is quantum medicines. And as we know, so the Prajapita Brahma Kumari, there is a trend of this group of peoples. They cultivate the grain, paddy, by they put the good music there to have a good yielding. So they believe that if consciousness level will increase, then we also can increase the conscious level of the grains, and that is also a way we can train our consciousness, or we can minimize the disease as well as minimize the medicines. We all know Jagdish Chandra Bose has also worked on the plant responses and plant emotions. And Ayurvedic classics many times speak about the plant consciousness before collecting the plant. There is instructions for the Euphorbia nerifolia that you should go evening to the plant, worship the plant, tell the plant that tomorrow morning, early morning, I will come to receive the milky exudations, put a stabbing knife to it, and morning before sunrise, just put the knife out. Whatever the fluent secretions, the milk will come from the Euphorbia nerifolia. That much amount of milk should collect. You should not behave enemy-like to the plant, because plant have that consciousness. And that works in the medicines. So nowadays, people claiming on the Ayurvedic medicines, it never works. That is also a reason. And this is a concept I like to introduce. That say, if physical things are enough to give the emotional problems, then every test tube baby experimentation should be succeed? No. Therefore, Ayurveda teaches us that Veda Loka Sukha Prada. So these all physical medicines cannot give a Veda Loka Sukha Prada. Something else, that delinking the concept cannot answer the question. Therefore, the concept is there, Sarvanasya Garbhadharanana. So the emotion works. The Purvajanma Kruta Karma works. So success rate in the test tube baby is only 33%. Then what about the 66%? Your theory is not working. And you are speaking, that is idiopathic. Because we are idiot to explain the answer. That why rest 66% is not having the baby out of the test tube experimentations. Because quantum medicine is working. Because the previous deeds is influencing. So to nullify the previous deeds, to nullify the prarabdha, there are a long list of procedures of adravya bhuta chikisa, santi, bali, mangala, homa, praschita, upavasa. So those all lists are there in Charak Samhita Sutras on the 30th chapter. How to bring those concepts of Ayurveda into the boundary of quantum medicines, because those are the small things but have a big impact in the problems. So that actually I was speaking about the Loka Purusha Samya Siddhanta. So Loka, the universe, Purusha, the individual persons, have much relationship written in Charaka Samhita Sharirasthana 5th chapters, that the Teja Mahabhuta itself is the Santapa within the systems, the Vayu itself the Prana, the Akasa, the Sushira or the empty space, the Srotas and channels. So any times we are not looking into the Akasa, there is a Srota Avarodha. So शरीर में अगर श्रोता अवरोध को ठीक करने के लिए समन औषधि है, शोधन औषधि है, ऐसा ही कुछ टाइम, there are some times we should advise to the patient, look into the Akasa. The Srotas Marga Avarodha will be clear. So if every disease have a link with the Ama or Srota Avarodha, then every disease also have a relationship to expose yourselves to the Akasa Tattva. So the Maruta itself, the Utsaha. तो उत्साह बढ़ाना है तो मारुत में एक्सपोज करिए आपके बॉडी को, दैट इज क्वांटम मेडिसिन्स. असिन्नौ रेस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द कांति लस्टर, द ज्योति इज रेस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर ज्ञान. मतलब किसी को अगर आईक्यू पावर कम है तो उनको बोलने का दिया लगाओ और उस लाइट को आप सस्टेनेबल देखिए विदाउट ब्लिंकिंग, व्हाट इज कॉल्ड एज त्राटक कर्म, बिकॉज ज्योति से ही ज्ञान बढ़ता है. In our student career, our teacher teaches us, go to Jagannath temple Puri and watch the big eye of Jagannath. The waves of knowledge comes out because Jyoti is there. It is decorated by some heavy metals, mercury and all. So Rudra, that is related to the Rosa. Kruta Yuga related to the Balyavastha. So there are much similarity within the Pinda and Brahmanda. So Pinda and Brahmanda Nyaya is such a biggest concept of quantum medicines. And as many numbers of Nobel hour one can take from that. And this Swabhava Parampada concept already I have discussed. So this is how the neuroplasticity develops, and there is a link in between the actions and thoughts, whatever we are speaking, whatever we are thinking, that have a root cause of relationship with those quantum consciousness or the vibrations from the energy itself. And we can strengthen them either to the positive side or the negative side, depends upon our own individual consciousness. And this we all know how the soul mind sense relationship works either for the stress or for the relaxations. And the pathway I have discussed, and I'm just leaving these things here. Anybody can refer how it have a relationship, and we can develop a good link in between the psychoneuroimmunological relationship, and that is related to the immune power too, and how it impacts to the individual persons, how we can convert those negative emotions to a positive emotions, just simply taking some long inspirations. So we know the Chandra Nadi and Surya Nadi. So we can practice to take the respirations by the Chandra Nadi. Take the inspirations from the left side of the nose. So we can, जब बहुत ज़्यादा गुस्सा आ रहा है, जब बहुत ज़्यादा negative emotions आ रहा है, what is quantum medicine that time? Quantum medicine is take the respiration, okay? So inspire the air by the Chandra Nadi, left nose. That is the practice of quantum medicine. आपको गुस्सा आ रहा है, गुस्सा आना चाहिए, स्ट्रेस आना चाहिए, एग्जाम है, मुझे कोई ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म में लेक्चर देना है, टेक द इंस्पायर्ड एयर बाय द राइट नोज. So right nose will activate me. Right nose will help me to exaggerate my emotion or thought process and provocate me to speak continuously. So because there is a link in between sattvam sa sariram sattvam vidyate. So optimizing both psychological and physical functionings that need a positive emotions, that need a quantum consciousness, that need a individual awareness. So that these all are the routine materials available for the stress factors or understandings, the emotions linked with the stress hormones and linking to the physical body. So how the quantum medicine works? This is the many way I have discussed, and this also can be referred that how the quantum medicine works. through the physiological way, through the parasympathetic nerve systems and the relaxation techniques, the good and bad memory. But the key factors, again, I will repeat, the key factor is practice, not by transactions. That is, need a transformation. So a transaction versus transformations. So this is the very routine way how the stressors become boss within our systems. So किसी भी स्ट्रेसर को हम बॉस बनने नहीं देंगे. अगर किसी भी टाइम पर हम फेस कर रहे हैं, तुरंत चंद्र नाड़ी में सांस लेने का. Immediately we should take the respirations of the air in the chandra nadi. So this is a social consciousness, how we can spread those quantum medicines of individual person to the society. So now society is suffering sugar problems or the cholesterol problem too much. जो ऊपर चला गया वो आके फिर से जो रह गया उसको भी लेके जाता है. Matter is that each the things are there. So I took a principles here from the Samhitas that Krasima or Sthabima. So Krasima in the sense Krusa persons or Sthaulya persons. So Krusa person or Sthaulya persons, classics teaches us don't do in extreme. Matlab the moment when a person get information, my height weight ratio is not good. Tomorrow onwards, very strictly they follow the rule and they bring the abnormality into a normal parameters acutely. So Shastra teaches us don't do the normalcy into an acute, it's like a war management. No, it should be a slow process. That the concept of Satyamyata should be implemented and slowly either karsya ko sthula karna hai, sthula ka karsya karna hai. It should not be a acute transactions. It should be a slow process. So it is not I am speaking. That is another aspect of quantum medicines. Slow, just slow down the process. And this is in respect to the organizers who is from the Rasa Shastra subject. That is, say we are making a medicines. We are simply making a chutney. The quantum medicine teaches us that we should not just make the molecules into a free radical part of point. We are just making a micromolecules so that easily the body can receive. So the concept of quantum consciousness also works through the level of consciousness. It cannot just immediately mardhanam guna mardhanam. It requires at times. If it is written Hire Diratram Sorase Triratram Takra Aranaradesu Pancharatram. So I am preparing a medicines out of the milk, then I should cook it for Diratram. Takra Aranaradesu Pancharatram. If I am taking the raw material Takra or Aranara, preparing a medicines, I should cook it for 5 days and 5 nights. So quantum medicines not so a miracles at a moment. There are some yogic persons, they can transform their yogic power, that is another issue. But routinely for we like routine peoples, that works slowly and that works steadily. And this is my message, that currently we understood the quantum medicine to that levels, and they will come, that will be the real medicines for the whole problems of the universe. And each individual persons have that's why I keep the yin yang theory. There is white, there is a black spot, and inside the black there is a white spot. So every individual persons have the positive one, have the negative one. So try to look to yourself. मैं खुद को देखूंगी. So by watching myself, I can actualize myself. Nobody can do changes within me unless and until I'll not look into me. That's why that is the Parama Usadam. That is the quantum medicines. That how far I can see myself. How sustainably I can work for me. How I can watch each and every responses within. So in the Satkriya Kala, it has written, Chaya Bruddhi Sodham Neva and Pradvesa Bruddhi Hetusu. So Pradvesa, we have a hatredness towards some variety of food, some variety of smell. And we need to conscious to watch those smell, to watch those responses. Then we can catch the disease even during the stage of Purva Rupa Avastha or Sanchaya Avastha, Prakopa Avastha, the disease will not go to manifest. So in this course of sustainable trying for increasing our conscious level or increasing the practice of quantum medicines, sometimes there is a celebration of cheat day. So it may be helpful in case of physical apatarapana chikitsa, when we are controlling the obesity by managing some diet advices, there might be helpful cheat day. So cheating the cheat day, that should be the key factor on quantum medicines. So in quantum medicines, we cannot take the cheat day for our practice unless and until the target has not achieved. If we will celebrate cheat day, then there will be harmful. So by the Vedic language, what is cheat? Cheat is Maya. So what is Maya? Krishna जिस दिन जन्म हुआ था, the same birthday of Krishna, birthday of Maya too. उसी सेम दिन में माया भी पैदा हुई थी, जिसको लेके एक्सचेंज ऑफर में कंस के वहां छोड़ दिया गया. कंस ने उसको फेंका पत्थर के ऊपर, वो माया दशभुजा दुर्गा अष्टभुजा दुर्गा होके निकला. एंड अष्टभुजा दुर्गा बोला कि बाबा तूने मेरा पैर का टच किया था, माफ तो कर दिया, लेकिन तुझे मारने के लिए कृष्ण पैदा हो चुके हैं. सो कृष्ण इज अ साइन ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस एंड अष्टभुजा दुर्गा इज द माया. जहां माया है वहीं कृष्ण है, जहां कृष्ण है वहीं माया है. And Maya is essential for consciousness. So another key factor of quantum medicine is we be conscious about the Maya. जितने ज्यादा माया है उतने ज्यादा हमारा कॉन्शियसनेस बनेगा. कभी भी दुखी मत हो जाइए कि मेरे घर में सारे लोग इतने अनकॉन्शियस है, मैं बहुत कॉन्शियस हूँ, मैं भगवान का पूजा करता हूँ, मैं चैंटिंग करता हूँ. Not necessary. Be fortunate or feel fortunate enough that stay within all those conscious world. Because the wrong world, the Maya Brahmanda, that Maya will teach us to be stick with the consciousness, to be go deep into the consciousness, and you can win on your quantification actualizations. So that's the way we can cheat the cheat day to increase the conscious level. So this is the way how it affects if we can celebrate by cheating the cheat day. So I'm facing or closing towards the end and like to say what the concept of Vedanta philosophy, Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya, or the whole Brahmanda is, that is a Mithya or a Maya. That is nothing but today's quantum physics or the quantum consciousness or the quantum medicines. So at the end, I like to just conclude all the things that what is quantum medicines, how it works through the quantum consciousness, how we can think about who am I. That is the way we can increase the quantum consciousness, and what is life, how we can take out the consciousness or uncover the consciousness, and we can bring a best version of ourselves. So today's whole discussion is, of course, quantum medicines, but the message I like to give, that is how we can bring a best versions of ourselves. That is called quantum medicines. So thanking to all of you, with a consensual hand, that you all are listening to me, and I don't know how far I able to pass those messages of quantum medicines from our classics, but I have a deep faith on it that they will come, everybody will learn and nurture those things, and we can live in a Atma-based civil society. So we can make a Atma-based civil society. Then only we can be a civilized persons or a civil persons. There is no benefit of human life. There is no importance of human life. There is nothing belongs to one individuality. So we should be a very custodian of such all concept. Thank you to all of you for your kind listening.
Thank you. Thank you. Mesmerizing as always. Excellent, madam. मुझे नहीं लग रहा था कि मैं किसी आयुर्वेद के वैद्य को सुन रहा हूँ. I was listening a great saint who is inspiring us. Excellent. अग्निहोत्री सर कुछ बोलेंगे?
जैसी आपकी आज्ञा।
मालिक आप हो.
धन्यवाद शर्मा जी, नमस्कार। मैडम प्रोफेसर विष्णुप्रिया मोहंती जी ने अपने विचार रखे। 85 minutes, it's not a small journey. As you told, I don't know how far I could be understood. I think too far you are understood. But the thing is that I'm amazed to see that how you got your such a nice bunch of slides prepared, because yesterday you were with us on elderly abuse alertment preparation, and day you gave the talk. So is it your quantum medicine? It is a practical form. It is an embodiment of the quantum energy which is being inbuilt in your body. So you are, with today's extensive lecture, exposed that you are an incarnation on earth with a special reference to the knowledge as you put forward in the terms of the quantum theory. You left no word in this issue. So many volumes can be written out of your address. The fact is that you, what's my problem? My problem is it that when I started understanding you, if I could reach from Haridwar to Moradabad, you head towards Lucknow. When I reached Lucknow, you reached Varanasi. I could manage to reach Varanasi. You reached Patna. In this way, you are so fast and so voluminous with the knowledge. I was just following you and just running after you, that where will you like to stop? You started that relationship is endless. It may be bitter or sweet. I think relationship should be maintained as sweet as long as possible. On one point, I just have some doubt that you told that on teeth brushing, it stimulates the Vyana Vayu, so the letharginess or the sleep is gone away. But at the same time, as per the other pattern, we also go for toothbrushing at night after taking dinner. So then what will happen? Because then we are all planning to have a sweet sleep. It becomes a point in my mind. And on third point, when you put the photograph of Salman Khan in reference to the firm determination, right from that second, I got an impression, had there been the photograph of Vivekanand, but it was heard by any way, any track of my understanding and yours, and you concluded with the photograph of Vivekanand Swamiji, because whenever it will be a matter of firm determination, we should be rather, we are energized enough to quote such persons like Adi Shankaracharya or Vivekanand. So it was a wonderful talk. We will say some words afterwards, but your caliber, your stuff and your preparation is really, it's not of coming from an Ayurvedic professor. It is beyond, it is full of spirituality. And you also told that spirituality means spirit with rituals. That is what the soul of your whole address. So thank you very much. God bless you. And you must equip with your knowledge by day, and you become an episode of knowledge in the same manner. Thank you, Dr. Vishnupriya Mohanty.
Thank you very much. Now I would like to request Vaidya Rajan Patankar sir. Vaidya Rajan Patankar sir, kindly, yes, please, welcome. Welcome.
Yes. Vishnupriya ji has left nothing to say. So it was a totally and wholesome subject she has presented, and in a very beautiful manner. So lot of thanks and lot of sorry to say good words to her, because she is so knowledgeable. She has covered all the aspects or all the things, but still आज मुझे बोलने का मौका दिया है, तो I should say some few words regarding from her presentation also. कि balance of mind and body will definitely help in Garbhadharana. And I had seen so many patients in this manner, because not only by doing IVF or any other diagnostic methods, when मैं जब भी पेशेंट को बोलता हूँ कि तुम्हारे माइंड का जो ये है वो अगर साफ रहेगा, because there is a very thin line in between mind and body and the Garbhadharana. So you have to cut it, or you have to go through that. So that is one thing. Then about Adravya Chikitsa, yes, definitely it will help. Chanting different mantras for different kind of diseases, or hearing those mantras, or hearing music will definitely help, because our life is definitely right from day one, as when we born, it is definitely spiritual. So in that manner, while seeing to this quantum medicine, darshan, sparshan and prashna, in my opinion, is also important factors to be taken care of by the Vaidya. And after that, not only the medicine, because I manufacture nano medicines, that last slide which she has presented, ki Mardhanam Gunavardhanam, definitely the nanoparticles of our brain and body has to be improved by some medicines. Then 10 things we must taken care of or must control. That she has told 5 things, that is grief, anger, shame, fear, hate. And I am going to add more 5 things in that: Facebook, Instagram, then Twitter, YouTube and WhatsApp. Those 5 added things from my side, they also must be controlled. And for that, for each and every problem or any disease, body is giving you some type of signals ki what is going to happen afterwards, or in your about your future problems. That is one thing. And as she said, be positive in life. That will definitely help you a lot. And because nowadays health, or the definition of health, is only to be hospitalized, and so many diagnostic methods are there, and they all are dependent on those different tests. But apart from that, the relation between mind, body and medicine, that mind and body is most important. And I am concluding my remarks here, because she has explained each and every aspect of the quantum medicine. So thank you, Pawan Kumar Sharma ji. Thank you, Agnihotri ji. And thanks for joining from UK, Naveen Gupta ji. Thanks a lot. And once again, thank you for such an excellent presentation by Vishnu Priya ji. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your blessings and inspiration, as always. Now I would like to request Dr. Mahalakshmi S. from Sairam Homeopathy College and Hospital. She is there in Department of Physiology. Welcome, Dr. Mahalakshmi ji. Dr. Mahalakshmi ji has been introduced by Dr. Preena Jain. I am thankful to Dr. Preena. thank you very much for introducing Dr. Mahalakshmi. Welcome, Dr. Mahalakshmi. Welcome. I welcome Dr. Naveen Gupta ji from UK. I welcome Dr. Stina ji, MS Stina Anderson from Sweden. I welcome Dr. Jayesh Thakkar ji, already I have welcomed. So now welcome. Thank you, madam. Now Dr. Mahalakshmi ji, please.
Good evening to everyone. Am I
Yes.
audible, sir?
Yes, clear, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. First, I thank God and Almighty for providing this opportunity, and Dr. Pawan Sharma sir and Dr. Preena Jain. Because of two person only, today I present here. So thank you so much for both of you, sir. Now I start my presentation. Now I share my screen. Just a minute, sir.
No problem. Share a screen and then you can share your screen and then.
Okay.
Don't worry, Dr. Preena will be sharing the screen.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience. So today's topic is quantum medicine. So before I want to explain the quantum medicine, I just want to explain the what is quantum. So here the quantum medicine is based upon that one theory is called quantum theory. So I want to explain about the what is quantum theory. So in that early days, so many scientists like Rutherford and Bohr, there are so many scientists explain about the classical mechanics. So what is classical mechanics? In that early childhood itself, we are studying about that orbital circle. So this orbital, what is orbital circle? So in that center, they having a nucleus, and outer side there is a periphery. So from the center to the periphery, the electrons move from the center to the periphery. So once the electrons move away from the center, the energy levels also increases. So this is the orbital circle. These are the things we have to study in that previous childhood days. But here, this is this process. This is called as a classical mechanics. But this classical mechanics is changed after the invention of quantum theory. So what is quantum theory? So So the quantum theory is nothing but it is a physics. It is a branch of physics which describes the mathematical calculation or mathematical description of the particles, and they explain about that characteristics and behavior of the material, and it explains the interaction between the energy and the matter. So that is called quantum mechanics. So here before that early days, the scientists explain about that atom level only. So this is the matter. From the inner circle to the periphery circle, there is a atom electron. Each and every atom having a positively charged electrons and negatively charged electrons. So the positively charged protons and negatively charged electrons are there. So this is the only material thing. But the quantum theory identifies beyond that material. So above the fifth circle, there is no matter, only the energy. That energy is required for all the function of the universe. So that energy is considered as a quantum one. So here that energy is a small bundle which we consider as an electron. So this small bundle of it is otherwise called as a quantum. So this quantum is combined and create a one state. That state is called as the energy. That with the help of energy only the materials are moved from one place to the another place. That is we call it is a law of motion. So this law of motion is otherwise called quantum mechanics. So this quantum mechanics is basic thing which basic things present in the quantum medicine. Next slide. So in quantum mechanics, these are the energy material which is required for the intactness of the inner aspect. In that universe, each and every substance having the own kind of energy. That energy is the essential thing which performing their own function. So this and how the energy is maintained, and how the energy is moved from one place to the another place. Because the energy, even though it is an energy, it is a dynamic one, it is an immaterial substance. We cannot see the energy, only we can feel the energy. How we can feel the energy? Only by performing their function. So this energy is a static nature. This static nature is responsible for all the functions of the universe. Not only the universe, it is applicable to human body also. Next slide. So what is quantum medicine? So this quantum energy is applied to the quantum medicine. So how in homeopathy, in all the medicines having the quality of quantum nature. So in homeopathy, what it means, the homeo means same, pati means suffering. Same suffering. So the homeopathy is mainly based upon the cardinal principles, 7 cardinal principles. So out of 7 cardinal principles, so what are these cardinal principles? So one is the law of similia, law of simplex, law of minimum dose, and doctrine of drug proving, theory of chronic disease, and theory of vital force, and doctrine of drug dynamization. So out of 7 principles, the two principles are vital force and theory of vital force and the doctrine of drug dynamization. These are the 2 things which is essential for the performance of the medicine. So what is vital force? So here the vital energy is each and every substance in the universe having their own energy. How these energies are generated? It is not from the outside, it is from the inside itself. So in that each and every in that human body, every cell having that own unique function. How the functions are performed? With the help of energy only the functions are the cell performing their function. How the energy is derived? So in that inside of the cell there are so many internal organelles. That internal organelles, each and every internal organelles are performing their own function and releasing that energy. That energy is required for the performance of the each individual cell. So this how this energy is performing their function and maintaining the health. The concept of health is based upon the vital energy. How the vital energy is plays in the role of health. So the health is nothing but it is a state of well-being. It is a balance between the mind and body. How to maintaining the balance between the mind and body? With the help of energy only we maintaining the balance between the health and the mind and the body. How that energy is maintained? So this energy is immaterial one. We cannot visualize the energy. Only we can feel the energy. But this energy, how it represents in our body, it is represented in the form of waves, it is represented in the form of stimulus. So this stimulus is where it is connected. This stimulus is connected with that thought. So the thought process is there. Once it is also immaterial one, it is also dynamic in nature. So that is a major thing which connects the universe to the body. So in that, the old saying is, if you are thinking positively, you will receive also positive thing. How it happens? So the positive energy attracts only the positive thing. The negative energy only attracts the negative thing. So for that theory, that is the quantum theory. That theory is applicable in the quantum medicine, especially in homeopathy. We are following all the medicine in the quantum medicine. So here the body having that energy, how the energy is connected with that thought. Here the thought process, here it is immaterial one. The thoughts also, there is a no shape and size. Only it having that feeling. So the feeling is also how it is represent. The feeling is represent in the form of waves. How it is affecting the body's energy. Because in the human, the thought process is a very essential. If you want to move the leg, if you want to move the take the one object, it requires some thought process. Without thought process, we cannot take anything, we cannot do anything. So this thought process is initiation for all the functions of the body. So how this thought is impact upon the energy. Here the thought is nothing but it is a will and understanding. Will is nothing but it is a desire. So what is desire? Somebody wants to become a doctor, somebody wants to become a rich man, somebody wants to become a scientist. So these are the desire of the particular situation or particular person in the particular moment. Once it simply we call it as it is a goal. If that goal is achieved easily, or how the goal is achieved by the person, that is called understanding. And so if the person achieving a goal by the direct way, or it is in the struggled manner, how it is suppose if the person achieves the goal, he feels happy. So the happy thoughts producing the happy waves, and the body attracts the happy waves, and the person feels happy. The happiness is the happiness is spread throughout the body, and the body also happy. It represents and expressed in the form of health. Suppose if the person not achieving the goal, he feels disappointed, he feels frustration. So this is the negative energy. That negative energy is captured by the vital force. So that vital force is always there in our body, but it is the energy, the outside of the thought process is negative one. So the negative is attracted by the positive one, but it is a stronger manner. So it is affected. The negative energy is the negative energy is dominating the vital energy. So that is why the person getting that disease. How they dominate the negative energy dominating the vital force. The negative energy it is captured by the stimulus. So it is represented in the form of waves. These waves captured by the nerves. These nerves are connected with the receptors, connected with the chemical substance, and connected with the enzymes. So once these enzymes are captured by the negative energy, these enzymes are altered. So that is the altered energy, the altered enzymes, the altered chemical transmitters is producing the alteration in the ECF and ICF. So this alteration in the ECF and ICF, it indicates the functional disorder. Initially, it produces a functional disorder because of the altered ICF ECF. Because the maintenance of the or balance between the ICF ECF is essential for the performance of the cell function. If there is any alteration in the ICF and ECF, the cell does not perform very well. It definitely becomes going to deranged. So the imbalance between the ICF and ECF, it creating a functional disturbance. This functional disturbance, how it represents? It is represented in the form of outwardly reflected form of signs and symptoms. These signs and symptoms we call it as a disease. So this is the way we get the healthy person transform into the disease condition. So how the diseased person is recovered with the help of quantum medicine. So because the cause of the disease is a dynamic in nature, the vital force is deranged. That is why the person getting the disease. So the medicine also having the same quality. That is, the same energy is attracted. If the opposite energy is not attracted, it is oppose the condition, oppose the state. So with that concept, the medicine also having the same energy level to attract same energy level. That means the medicine also have the same energy which acted upon that energical body. So the homeopathic or medicines or quantum medicines having that which acted upon the deceased person. So in that deceased person, how the cure is performed. So this the deceased person, how the cure is achieved by the using of quantum medicine. The quantum medicine having that the medicine is in homeopathy, we prepare the medicine from all the materials which is available in the universe. We preparing the medicine from plants, animals, and minerals, everything in the universe. We are taking the material and we doing the so many process. The process we call it as potentization. So by the process of potentization, the material substance are going into the immaterial substance. So how we do the immaterial substance? So this immaterial, by the process of potentization, under the process of potentization, we are doing the so many process like succussion and the dilution, and so there are so many process. By the process, the material substance is having the chemical in nature. So the crude substance. This crude substance, by the process of succussion, by the process of dilution, the crude material is transformed into the energetical material. That is, by grinding continuously for a certain period, the chemical substance are gradually break down. That means the compound, the simple substance break into the complex and compound. So here the raw material is a complex one. The complex material is grinded again and in particular period. In that particular period, the chemical substance transform into the simple substance. That simple substance, in that simple substance, there is no chemical substance. Only that only energy level is present in the simple substance. So that energy is take it as a medicine and it is acted upon the deceased person. So in that way, the cure is attained by with the help of quantum medicine. So here the quantum medicine is in what way it is used it is used by achieving the cure, and as well as in homeopathy it is used to prevent the disorder also. In how to prevent the disorder also, because in homeopathy we are considering the person as a whole. So what it means whole? The holistic, we are approaching the individual as a whole, but means body and mind. So if the body reflects the body, so when whatever the thoughts in your body, it reflects in your body. So for example, if you are if you are feel angry, it is reflected in your face. Your face become angry. It is reflected. How it is reflected? It increases the acid level, and that the suppressed anger increases the acid level. So the particular person having that gastric ulcer. So suppose it's that somebody having that or hearing that good news, immediately what happened after hearing the good news, the body secreting the happy hormone like serotonin. So the person after hearing that good news, the serotonin is secreted and the person made feel happy. So this is the thought, it is connected with the body part. So the cure also, the cure also obtained by the same manner. So here the quantum medicine having that same energy level. So the same energy is responsible, or it is have the capacity to alter the disease state into the healthy state. Here the way WHO, next slide. Here the WHO explain giving the definition of the health. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Here the word state, here everything is a state. Here the state is an immaterial one, not a materialistic one. Here the state is always dynamic in nature. So the dynamic state is responsible for the maintenance of the health. So the same dynamic is responsible for if there is any derangement in the dynamic state, that is disordered immaterial vital force. Here the energy is, we call it as vital force. This any deviation in the vital force, how the vital force is deviated? The vital force is deviated by the abnormal noxious substance. Here the what is abnormal noxious substance? Either it may thoughts or it may external factor or physical factor. But even before that, external factor and physical factor, chemical factor, the main factor is the thought process. If the thought is deranged, if the thought is not a good one, it is not a proper wave, it is not a good wave, definitely it affects the vital energy. So if that vital energy is altered, it reflects the body. In what way? In what way it reflects? It producing the signs and symptoms. So these signs and symptoms we call it as it is a disease. So the how the diseased person is cured? The diseased person is cured in the same state. How the same state means the medicine, the quantum medicine also having the same dynamic in nature. Then only it is captured by the deranged vital force. So the medicine also having the vital force, the diseased person also, the diseased vital force also having the same plane. So what is the difference? How it is remove the diseased vital force? Because in the diseased vital force, it become weakened by the negative energy. So, but the medicinal force having that more energy compared to the weaker diseased energy. So the medicine having that by the process of trituration, by the process of succussion, and by the process of dilution, the medicinal power is enhanced. The inert power is the material power. The material is breakdown and it releases the energy. That energy is the volume of energy or the strength of the energy is compared to that diseased vital force. It is enormously larger one. So the same theory is related with that orbital circle. So when the nucleus from the center to the periphery, once the circle is bigger, larger and larger, it indicates that the energy is increased in the increased orbital structure. So it is related with that orbital structure circle also. So if you are continuous process of trituration and dilution, we are enhancing the energy in the higher and higher manner. We are increasing the potency level. We are increasing the substance level. The material is breakdown into smaller particle, the finer, make him to a finer material. This finer substance, not is the material, the finer substance. The substance is we call it as a simple substance. This simple substance is dynamic in nature, but it is the strength of the simple substance is compared to the disease force, it is a higher one. So always the stronger one remove the weaker one. So here the stronger one is medicinal power. The stronger medicinal power acted upon that weaker diseased vital force and remove the and dominating the weaker power. For example of the stronger and weaker is suppose somebody hearing a one sad news. This sad news, after hearing the sad news, the person feel worries. But immediately after that, little worry only, little sad news. That is, for example, any some kind of little disappointment. But this disappointment is overcome by the stronger news. Suppose the person suddenly got lottery about 1 crore. This happiness, the sudden happiness, overcome that sorrow. So that is the power of the quantum medicine. That is the power of the energy. So the higher energy, the higher power dominating the weaker one. So by the method, the medicine acted upon the weaker vital force and remove the disease. How it is removed? The only we are initiating or only we altering the vital force itself. We are not concentrating upon the signs and symptoms, because the signs and symptom is nothing but it is only the effect of the vital force, diseased vital force. It is not a real one. It is a material one. The signs and symptom is an expression of the body parts. It is not a original one. Here we consider the root cause of the disease. Here the root cause of the disease is altered vital force. That is altered energy level. So if the energy is altered, then only the enzyme is altered. Enzyme altered, it produces the altered function, and altered function leads to the expression of the signs and symptoms. So here we concentrate upon here what is to be treated in this case and what is to be concentrated in this altered vital force. So how the vital force is altered? Because of the negative wave and negative energy, the vital force is altered. So we are giving that same kind of wavelength medicine, but but it is a stronger in manner. For example, one medicine is prepared from the plant. For example, pulsatilla. So the pulsatilla, what is the pulsatilla plant nature? It is a soft and very kind, easily adjustable and very kind and very adjustable in nature. In the same kind of the person when come to your clinic, the person is very soft spoken, very kind and very gentle. This kind of person having a disease. So we are identifying the same nature of the plant medicine. So, but the plant medicine having that here the medicine having that higher energy compared to that weaker vital force. The pulsatilla patient is deranged. The patient is deranged, not the material body is deranged. The person here we are considering the energy is deranged. So energy means the person. The person character is the energy. So because the will and understanding is disturbed, that is the reason for the alteration of the vital energy. So here we consider as a person. Here the person is the sick, not a signs and symptom. So the medicine also having the same nature, which having the same power. So the pulsatilla having that, the pulsatilla is the plant is crushed and we extract the material. That material is undergo for the process of succussion and dilution and saturation. It emits the energy. Then this energy is not the same material energy. It is a finer substance. That finer substance emits the energy. That energy is very higher in nature, higher in molecular, higher in high energy level. This high energy levels of pulsatilla acted upon the pulsatilla patient. It removed the disease. How it removed the disease? It acted upon the weaker vital force. How it acted upon the vital force? The particular after taking the pulsatilla medicine, the particular person understands the situation very clearly. Before that, the person is having some confusion. Even though by intelligence we know all the things, but our heart and the mind doesn't accept the disappointment. But by the intelligence we know this is a mistake, for that it happens. By intelligence we can easily understand, but our mind doesn't accept the failure. So after taking the pulsatilla, it gives the clarity to the mind. It accepts the failure. Once it accepts through the intelligence. So that is the difference between the quantum medicine and the materialistic medicine. So the material, if for example, it's a crude form of medicine, there is no energy, there is only the crude material. The crude material does not reach the vital energy. It only in the superficial. So the superficial, but the disease is not from the superficial, it is from the inner aspect. Here the inner aspect is vital force. So once the vital force is deranged, the diseases come. So the medicine also having the same capacity to touch the vital force. So if after giving the pulsatilla, the patient through the intelligence, he understands the situation. Because of that reason, I am getting a failure. So I accept and I go ahead further and I try to some other measures to achieve my goal. So that clarity is given by the quantum medicine. That is the achievement of the homeopathy. So with that quantum medicine, we can easily cure the disease and as well as to prevent the medicine. How to prevent the medicine means, once the quantum medicine, that is the high energy medicine, acted upon the vital force, diseased vital force, it removed that weaker one and dominating the stronger one. So now the person, the diseased person, full of energy. What kind of energy? Medicinal energy. This medicinal energy enhance the vitality of the person. So once the vitality is improved, the vitality itself, that is the vital force itself, remove the it alter the ICF and ECF. Initially, suppose for example, some dehydration is happened, the sodium level is down, and the sodium inside the sodium is move outside, and to maintaining the dehydration or to maintain the balance of the dehydration. So once the situation is overcome, again the sodium is come inside and chloride is go outside. So this compensation is how when it is occur. When the vital force is balanced, when the vital forces become altered, then only the alteration becomes changed. Otherwise, there is the imbalance between the ICF and ECF is maintained, and the person having the disease also. So we are after giving the medicine, the vital force is enhanced and the vital energy is enhanced to correct the imbalance between the ICF and ECF and change the functional disease, change the functional and performing the function, and self-performing the function means that it is considered as a healthy in manner. Next slide. So that is though the achievement of the physical, mental, and social and spiritual. How these are the area where we this is the area where we concentrated to achieving the health. So how these are connected means by means of vital energy. All these areas are connected. It is a center part is vital energy, vital force. That force is always connected with the thought. So if you are having the good thought, the vital energy also good. If you are having the bad thought, the vital energy also down. Vital energy also deranged. This deranged vital energy produce next slide. The deranged vital energy produce the signs and symptoms. So here the cause means what? It is the immaterial vital force, that is deranged vital force is the cause. So the deranged vital force causing the disorder in what manner? It alters the functional level and alters the pathological level. So it produces the signs. Once it affects the pathology, it produces signs and symptoms, and it produces the course of the disease. So after in what way it gives the treatment? We are giving the treatment to the cause, not for the signs and symptoms. So here the because the reason for the disease is altered vital force. So we are treatment where what is required in the disease condition? Only the altered vital force. How the altered vital force is treated? By means of same kind of energy in the form of higher potencies and higher energy level. After applying the energy higher energy level, the weaker energy is removed and it enhances the vitality and alter everything. So now the person free from the disease and maintaining the health. Next slide. So the concept of cure is achieved by this way. The concept of cure is achieved. So finally, what I conclude here, the quantum electrodynamics. The quantum electrodynamics in what it means, every substance having the electrical energy, that electrical energy is it is the main thing which maintaining the inner substance in the intact manner. It maintaining the state of the person. Here the state is the mind. So the inner vital force is maintaining the willpower. So the willpower is very, very essential for to maintaining the health. If somebody having a good willpower, even a bad situation, the particular person having a good willpower means the particular person overcome the bad situation. Suppose if the weaker mentality cannot cope up with even a simple situation. So that is the difference between the health and the disease. So if the stronger mind, if we overcome all these things. Here the stronger mind means what it indicates? Stronger energy. That energy is the vital force, that is the vital energy. So the stronger the vital energy, it removes all, it avoids, it remove all the unwanted things. So even in our universe, there are so many good things also, bad things also. If you are stronger, if you are good thing, the good things also you receive. If you are bad, you receive also bad things. So this is the concept is behind in the quantum medicine. The quantum medicine is always based upon the quantum theory. So with that statement, I conclude the session. The quantum medicine is having the good power to cure all the condition and also to prevent the disease. How to prevent the disease? Because it enhances the vital energy to avoid the further circumstance in the life. For example, if somebody got any failure in the life, after taking the medicine, the person acceptance, here the problem is acceptance is the problem, not the vital energy is how it is deranged. The expectation. So the expectation, it is the first one is the goal. The goal is achieved is easily means there is a no problem. The person is a go. The person feels happy. The body also feels happy. Everything is good. Suppose is there any disappointment? The expectation is what? Immediately we achieve the goal. Here the expectation is the problem is for the all the stress factor. So if you are expecting to achieve the goal very shortly, to achieve the things very good in manner. For suppose if your expectation is failed, immediately go for the stress. So if you are in the home, what is the advantage of the quantum medicine means? If you are selecting the same energy level of the medicine, after giving that energy level of the medicine, the particular person understanding the situation through intelligence. That is the major difference. So through intelligence means accepting the situation, accepting the failure. So once if you are accepting the failure, you never regret, you never worried. So that force maintaining the vital force, that vital force maintaining the health. So the quantum medicine always give the cure and as well as prevent the disease condition. Thank you.
Great, great, Dr. Mahalakshmi. Very nice.
Thank you, sir.
Agrawal, sir.
पवन जी आप म्यूट हो हैं।
Yes. Excellent. Great, sir. Agrawal, sir.
Thank you, Sharma ji. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you,
Well,
sir.
we were listening Dr. Mahalakshmi's address. Of course, she comes from the homeopathic discipline, but still she is sound enough to talk about the physics. And right from the starting, she made ourselves very clear that what is quantum theory, and how it can be applied or inferred in the terms of the quantum medicine. Very well narrated and defined by her, because she has got the field of homeopathy. So homeopathy itself deals with all the permutation combinations along with the potentization. So potentization itself makes the medicine active at its molecule level, so that it works faster, and that too in a very lesser dose. Of course, we have to go for repeated time taking of the medicine, but it works like anything. May it be said in a terms of the assimilation at nanoparticle level. So whatever the medicine's active part in nano, which also becomes adjustable or recognized by the brain nanocells. This is what the quantum theory is. And in very brief, if I say something, whenever we do something in a form of karma, simple, then it becomes a medicine, or the effect at the physical level, effect on our physical health and physical ailment. But when we do any work with mano yoga, by applying our inner strength, soul, mind, along with our actions, it becomes probably quantum medicine. This is what I can infer, because Dr. Mohanty was emphasizing on the same words. So goes the case with your representation, that if we produce our activities in the terms of the soul, mind and body's interrelationship, whether we are chanting, we are reciting, or we are performing any action in or by our good health, it becomes more than quantum level activity, and it becomes a quantum medicine or the quantum energy. And so goes the case with your presentation, that we are supposed to come forward with our preparation by making the medicine in a physical form to its quantum energy activation manner. This is what you say. So thank you very much, and you presented very well. Thank you, Dr. Maharashtra.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Pawan Sharma ji. Over. Hello. Hari Om.
Hari Om, sir. Hari Om. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now I would like to session is open. Please guide us on quantum energy and today's webinar. To start with, I would like to request Professor V.K. Agnihotri ji for moderation of this session. And I would like to request Professor C.V. Jha sir for his valuable comment. Welcome, sir.
Hello. Am I audible?
Sir, yes, pranam, sir.
Yeah. So I a wonderful presentation given by Vaidya Vishnupriya ji, and he has covered all the area which is given in Charak related with this quantum medicine. Both the concept, modern as well as Ayurveda, the nicely correlated, the both. And when we are talking with the Adravya Bhut Chikitsa, so many way already she has mentioned, as written in the Charak. In practically also, we are observing that music therapy and this aromatherapy and other so many way of treatment. Then Manaso Jnana Vijnana Dhairya Smriti Samadhi, we like Charak mentioned. Apart from this, the other part of this, the medicine which is applied in a very small quantity. Homeopathy is a good example for that. And Dr. Mahalakshmi already very nicely presented the doctrines or the fundamental principles of homeopathy, as well as the way of treatment and the action of drug, how this small quantity drug is affecting to the diseased person on to the disease. So one thing, what the jnana mukti, either mukti from the this continuous rebirth and death, or mukti from the disease. We can also correlate with mukti with the disease. Without jnana, it cannot be. So the counseling of the patient, whenever patient is coming with us, we are trying to make fully understand with their problem to the patient. So when patient become understand their problem, the treatment become very easy, as in routine practice we are observing. The another part is the theory and practical. What Vishnupriya ji presented, theoretically it is okay. On practical level, when any asukari vyadhi, the acute diseases or the certain conditions, acute conditions facing by the facing by us, at that time, how we can apply these things. This is one area which is needed to emphasize. So with this word, I congratulate all the speakers, particularly Vishnupriya ji, Patankar ji, and Mahalakshmi ji. So it was very nice deliberation, and we learned much more with this. And with this word, I hand over to Pavanji.
Thank you. Thank you,
Pavanji.
sir. Thank you for your blessings. Now I would like to request Professor V.K. Agnihotri, sir, to moderate the rest of the session, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pawan Shamai. Thank you. Namaskar. Thank you. I am seeing that Professor K.K. Pandey ji is here from BHU. and I would definitely like to have a few very important words from him, as this is a very unique topic, quantum medicine. You please come. I am inviting you to grace the occasion and enlighten us on this new chapter. Thank you. Kekesh Pandey, sir.
Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity to share my views regarding the topic discussed today on this very scientific forum. First of all, I must congratulate the first speaker, which I came to know, and very nice presentation with the reflecting slides and their interpretation regarding the topic quantum theory. And I really appreciate the concept behind what the selection and how it was presented in relation to the patient management. Regarding this quantum application in Tridosic concept, the quantum theory in relation with the Tridos, what Madam said, that I was trying to interpret that one, that when patients are really in the need of the treatment, that is not possible at every time, the selection of the medicine and the selection of the other things. And that is the pharmacological preparation and their application in different situations. I was correlating that one in reference to the palliative care. So many times it is very difficult to use those medicines, and because of the condition of the patient and because of the non-availability of the medicine and because of their pharmacodynamics and the principles of the drug metabolism. So the Tridosic concept and application of the Ida and Pingala nadis and the respiratory pattern, and that can be applied, and that too in a big project can be designed on that very concept, that when there swaso chwasa niswasa chesta dhatu gati sama, or the darshanam paktirismas shutashnadeyam ardhvam. So these are the concept of the physiological functions of the Tridos and application of those exercises in terms of the biochemical analysis, and that can give a big way to the scientific research scholars. That is one point part which I understood. And the second speaker regarding the homeopathy and the homeostasis and the quantums and the being a scholar of science, what could I understood, that is the really incorporation. So one umbrella is there, and the different theories are there, and that can be come on a platform, and amalgamation of those and the selection of those good things can be incorporated as such in the treatment of the patient, where we are unable to give the pharmacological preparations. And this very concept was in my mind since long back. But today, what I was enough fortunate to learn, to hear the experiences of my first speaker, ma'am. Really, she had a good knowledge and the interpretation regarding this, the philosophical aspect as well the Vedic aspect as well as the clinical aspect. The correlation of all these must be taken into consideration for the coming trends of the Ayurvedic, and what the Ayurveda is totally philosophy and is it's a medicine and it's overall a faith. So samyojan of all these can give a good line for the new researchers in the field of Ayurveda, and especially I, being a person of palliative care, is a big hope, and I will try to contact ma'am for that one to share her views and to achieve some guidelines from her, how we can correlate these and come on one platform for the poor sufferings. Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity, and I'm sorry to not to join last 4-5 days because of my some busy schedules. Now I'm free and I will be benefited by this forum. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Kuldeep Kaur Pandey. I do hope that now you are enjoying the best of your health, as you were some indisposed a few weeks earlier. And thanks also for your selective presentation and selective words you forwarded in this reference. You also talked about this quantum medicine is much more valuable in reference to the palliative medicine. This is what your area is, as you are the professor and head of Sangyaharan Vibhag of IMS BHU. We do hope that your contribution will always be with us. So thanks a lot. And
Thank you, sir.
before,
Thank you, sir.
thank you. And before I call Miss Stina Anderson from Sweden, I would like to see again Professor Vishnupriya Mohanty, if she is there, for her feedback, whatever she also heard and learned from other speakers, and she may also enlighten for my query regarding the second time brushing before to retire to bed. This is one point, and that is exciting also, because it's not a matter of Western following. We also go that Dant Dhawan दिन में 2 बार बताया गया, तो उस हिसाब से it is necessary, and what will be her clue on that issue. And so if she is with us, please be available with us. I'll be shortly calling. So may I call Miss Stina Anderson from Sweden? Nowadays she is in UK.
Hello.
Miss Anderson, thank you. Namaskar. Are you here? Please come with your views, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Namaste. I'm here
Namaste.
and namaste.
Namaste.
Such a wonderful afternoon here, actually, listening to all these fantastic doctors, and congratulations again, everyone. It's amazing to be part of this. And I realize that this is one of my really favorite subjects, really, and the importance of the mind, and about how the daily routines actually work on a quantum level. It's so interesting to hear the connections between the science and the practice of Ayurveda, and I really found it so interesting to see how the thoughts control the mind and the feelings, and how it could lead to disease, and also, of course, to the opposite, that would be health. But from the Western perspective, I guess I have to say that for me, who study Ayurveda, it's really, I have already accepted the concept of the body, mind, soul, but I feel our society do not recognize this anymore. It might be a little bit from our history here, but I'm just thinking that how can we apply this in our lives if we haven't accepted that the soul and the mind is affecting our health, and how we feel about this, like the practice that you do in the temples with these amazing sounds, and how you do this. It's not really how we live, but I try to see how can we use it anyway, and do we really need to accept the philosophy behind Ayurveda, or can we use it, and by practicing, when we practice it, when we recognize how much it helps, and then we can accept the body, mind, and soul concepts. Because when we do that, I really think the society will benefit so much from it. And many of our health issues here is really about us not accepting anything that is not related to science. So the quantum physics will help us to understand Ayurveda in another way. So I think this is really, really important for us to unite this again. So well, that was just some small thoughts from Sweden. And I really appreciated today's webinar. It's been amazing. So thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much to Dr. Miss Stina Anderson. No problem. I am happy that at least our first speaker's presentation was in English, so you followed very well. That's why you came with this view I think you are feeling a little bit scared that you understood Ayurveda and the principal theory of Ayurveda regarding mind, body, and soul. But you are scared that in Europe or in your site, in your country, persons may follow, may not follow. I don't worry. The idea is this, that you are becoming a great and true soldier and warrior to convey the concept of Ayurveda, and the one person is sufficient enough. The one sperm is sufficient enough to deal with. So when you will be full of knowledge, the mind, body, soul philosophy will also travel with you, and you will definitely be a part of our knowledge as a messenger. And you will see that मैं अकेला ही चला था, जानवन मंजिल में लोग जुड़ते गए और कारवां बनता गया. You need not to worry. You are becoming a great soul, great disciple, soul, and warrior of our Ayurveda. Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you. So today we are having our good speakers also along with our participants in discussion. So if Madam Vishnupriya is here, I would like to have some message from her. Meanwhile, I would like to invite Ved Jayesh Thakkar ji. We have not having a lot of information from him. So please, Dr. Jayesh Thakkar ji, you please come and throw light on today's webinar subject. Ved Jayesh Thakkar ji. Hello. Namaskar. Hello. Ved Jayesh Thakkar ji is here. If Dr. Prerna Jain is here at present in our platform, I would like to have some message from her also. Dr. Prerna Jain, would you please kindly like to join us and say a few words regarding today's webinar?
Good evening, one and all.
Hello.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I am hearing. Yes, yes, please.
So today's session, it's a bit a different one. But after a long time, we are also joining, and we are good to hear new concepts about it, and really it is an enlightened program, sir. Thank you, sir.
We are thank you. We are also thankful for your suggestion and reference regarding our Dr. Mahalakshmi S. Ma'am, so that he could share her views with today's webinar. I am seeing Dr. Mr. Anil Patel. If he is there and having any suggestion or query, he can come forward and he can share his views. Dr. Anil Patel is here. He wants very much here with our platform. If any person who wants to say something, a suggestion or query, Sonal Gausalia is also here. A new person, new face is there. If he would like to come. Professor Vishnupriya is not here, so I would. Hello. Anil Patel. Yes, yes, please.
हाँ सर, मेरी इंग्लिश थोड़ी पुअर है.
आप विशुद्ध हिंदी में आइए ना.
जी जी सर.
कम से कम हिंदी भाषा भाषी तो लाभान्वित हो ही सकेंगे. जी बोलिए. जी बोलिए. नहीं, मैं सुन रहा था, समझ लेता हूँ थोड़ा थोड़ा. कोई बात नहीं. जी 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 सर. मैं नागपुर से थोड़ा अपना परिचय भी दे दीजिए. जी सर, मैं अनिल पटेल एक्चुअली गुजरात से बिलोंग करता हूँ, लेकिन पिछले 15-16 साल से नागपुर में रहता हूँ, महाराष्ट्र में. जी. और ये रेयर प्लांट वगैरह पे ज्यादा मेरा फोकस रहता है. राइट. जी जी, उसको बढ़ावा देना, आइडेंटिफाई करना, ये सब करते रहते हैं सर. जी. और ये जो अपना नैनो पार्टिकल का जो आज का वेबिनार था, जी, तो हमारा एक गिरनारी मंडल के नाम से ग्रुप चल रहा है गुजरात का. जी. तो उसके अंदर में डॉक्टर बालदानिया साहब जो जामनगर यूनिवर्सिटी से थे, उसने लिंक भेजा था, तो हम लोग ऐड हुए थे सर. और नैनो पार्टिकल के ऊपर में शायद मेरे ख्याल से एक अपने पुणे के डॉक्टर है, डॉक्टर नरहरि प्रभु जी, उसने भी सूक्ष्म औषधि कल्पना के नाम से एक बुक लिखी है.
बॉम्बे के है वो, थाना डोंबिवली के.
जी 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 सर. हाँ हाँ.
मैं भी
हाँ।
करता हूँ वो। हाँ,
जी सर।
उनका ही
तो
शिष्य हूँ।
हमारे
हाँ।
वैद्य राजन पटंकर जी इस क्षेत्र के बहुत माहिर हस्ताक्षर हैं, और
जी
आप
जी सर,
जैसे ही
नमस्कार
उनको
नमस्कार।
बताया तो स्वाभाविक सी बात है, पटंकर जी ने अपने विचार रखे। देखिए ऐसा ना, आपकी बात सही है, आप नैनो पार्टिकल या रेयर प्लांट्स में बात कर रहे हैं। हमें चाहेंगे कि क्या आपकी कोई अप्रोच अभी तक के अनुभव में इस नैनो पार्टिकल को एक तरफ रखते हुए माइंड बॉडी सोल के क्रम में, यानी कि स्पिरिचुअलिटी जो हमारे आयुर्वेद से जुड़ी हुई है, उसके क्रम में यदि आपके कोई अनुभव हो तो उनसे जरूर आज हमें यहाँ पर शेयर करने की कृपा करिए।
हाँ सर, जैसे अपन धूम्र चिकित्सा का कोरोना में अच्छा यूज किया हमने
जी।
और उसका रिजल्ट और अनुभव भी अच्छा रहा। तो वो एक टाइप से वन टाइप ऑफ नैनो पार्टिकल ही हो गया ना सर।
जी जी। नहीं, आप अपने चिकित्सीय कार्य में कार्य करते हुए औषधि चिकित्सा के साथ साथ क्या आपने अपने कतिपय रोगियों को मंत्र, औषधि और हवन, ये
हाँ
धूपन,
जी सर।
इस सब बारे में जी अगर सपोर्ट करके उसका कोई आपको पॉजिटिव रिस्पॉन्स मिला है
जी
तो
जी
उसको
सर,
आज आप प्लेटफॉर्म
सूक्ष्म
बतलाइए।
सूक्ष्म हाँ हाँ, सूक्ष्म त्रिफला का यूज किया हूँ, और एक यूज किया हूँ मैंने मकर ध्वज का।
अच्छा।
हाँ, ये बॉम्बे के एक पारसी बाबा है, वो ये बनाते हैं मकर ध्वज।
अच्छा।
सोरस्टियम करके है उसका।
वो मकर ध्वज स्वर्ण स्वर्ण रहित है या स्वर्ण सहित है?
नहीं,
सस्वर्ण है या?
स्वर्ण सहित है सर।
अच्छा जी।
हाँ, और उसका मतलब ये जो नैनो पार्टिकल करने के बाद में कॉस्टिंग भी उसका बहुत कम आ जाता है।
अच्छा।
और सूक्ष्म त्रिफला का कैंसर पेशेंट पे भी दिया हूँ, तो उसका रिजल्ट भी अच्छा दिख रहा है सर।
ठीक ठीक।
हमारे कजिन को जीभ का कैंसर है, तो उसको दिया था मैंने ये दोनों चीजें। तो ये जो सिद्ध मकर ध्वज है वो बल्य के तौर पे अच्छा काम कर रहा है, बल दे रहा है, ताकत दे रहा है, मतलब नाड़ी का बल भी बढ़ गया उसका।
जी ठीक।
जी, ये दो चीज का अनुभव किया सर।
चलिए डॉक्टर अनिल पटेल जी, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आपने अपने अनुभवों को हम लोगों से शेयर किया। आपने जो कहते हैं कि जो दुर्लभ प्राय प्रजातियां हैं उन पर आप कार्य कर रहे हैं, और साथ ही साथ आपने जो चिकित्सा कार्य कर रहे हैं उसमें मकर ध्वज इत्यादि रसों के द्वारा नैनो पार्टिकल की जो अनुभूत चिकित्सा के बारे में अपने अनुभव हमसे आज शेयर किए। आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। हम इसी क्रम में बुलाना चाहेंगे, अगर हमारे पास वैद्य जयेश ठक्कर जी उपलब्ध हैं, आवाज सुन पा रहे हैं, तो उनके हम चाहेंगे उनके व्यू हमको मिल जाएं तो अच्छा है। नहीं तो उधर हमारे पास विष्णु प्रिया जी भी नहीं जुड़ रही, फिर तो हम अपने वरिष्ठ डॉक्टर जगदीश डोमा जी को ही रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे, उनसे प्रार्थना करेंगे कि आज की जो चर्चा हुई है उस पर अपने थोड़े से शब्दों में, 2 शब्दों में अपने बहुमूल्य विचार देने की कृपा करें, जिससे कि हम सब लोग लाभान्वित होंगे और हमारी वेबिनार को एक नई गति, नई ऊर्जा, नया जीवंतता मिलेगी। डॉक्टर जगदीश डोमा जी, स्वागत है आपका, प्लीज।
धन्यवाद अग्निहोत्री जी,
नमस्कार।
मेरा सादर प्रणाम और सबके लिए मेरा विनम्र प्रणाम।
जी सर।
अभी तो जो क्वांटम थियरी पर बात कर रहे थे,
जी,
इसमें पहले जो विष्णुप्रिया जी प्रेजेंटेशन किए हैं, that is a big philosophy which can be correlated and comparative study can be done by the latest modern scientists. And philosophy, whatever is in terms of psychophysical level, only the people of Western side are able to, in this terminology, to understand. If Stina ji is there, she will, for a while, have a glimpse of scientific explanation why the Western do not admit very easily
आपकी आवाज चली गई है। Hello.
डोमा जी आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही, कोई थोड़ा सिग्नल चेक करिए, आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी। हेलो
सिग्नल प्रॉब्लम।
जी गुरु जी, तब तक आप थोड़ा सा आप प्रकाश डालिए और हम फिर अगर नहीं
मैंने
नहीं तो
अपना
फिर
विचार रख दिया।
जी जी
और कंक्लूड
नहीं,
करें।
इसमें थोड़ा थोड़ा ये बताइए ना, जैसे मिस हमारी स्टीना एंडरसन कह रही थी कि वो स्वयं तो आयुर्वेद पढ़ रही हैं इस समय लंदन में, और योग भी सीख रही हैं और सब कुछ कर रही हैं। उनको ये चिंता है या उनको ये स्केर्ड हैं वो कि
नहीं
उनके यूरोपियन कंट्रीज के
वो
लोग।
जब समय when she become fully understood, then she can make others also to understood
राइट
the
राइट
philosophy of Ayurveda. Yeah. So
अपन
she is doing very well, and she nicely understood the deliberation which I today delivered. So it's a good. She will propagate there in their country, in Western, the Europe or the USA.
Sir, rightly told by you. We were remembering that when we were studying Miss Gurtet Kim from Italy, she was there and she remained in our faculty for so many weeks. Dr. Professor Deshpande sir ke under she was taking a lot. Professor Shuklai ke paas bhi she was coming regularly. They are all fond of getting knowledge of Ayurveda and yoga also. So these persons from European countries are definitely coming to our country, but it's very difficult to make this knowledge available to their countrymen. Every individual is interested, but when their countrymen will say, they think that it is a acquired or inherited thing, but when they come India and take the knowledge by their own experience, then they become the disciple of our Ayurveda. This is a I think some sort of weakness or ego. They don't consider their own countrymen.
Yes.
सो डोमा जी सर, आपकी आवाज आप उपलब्ध है इस समय? आपकी बीच में आवाज आनी बंद हो गई थी चैनल। सर आप अनम्यूट कर लीजिए डोमा जी सर।
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes sir, you are audible. Please continue.
No, for a little while.
Yeah.
For the questioning of Stina ji, I am giving an explanation. For mind, if the point of mind is taken, mind is considered in three aspects. One is done I, and the second is doer I, and the I. If these three, I, doer I, done I, Mahat, Aham, Chitta, ये तीन का combination. Now I have given in English terminology, whereas in our philosophical way we can easily understand. And if this mind is expressed in three levels, how do the science understand? For example, the analysis of mind. When you exist, when you feel that I am surviving, then your Mahat is, that means I feeling is aroused. And when you resort to a work, then you will become a part and a parcel of the work should be done. Then you become doer I. Then the aham comes. Then the last one is the work done by this mind is enjoyed or entertained. It is also a part of mind which is called chitta dhanai. If this mind is considered in three levels, the three levels should be also confirmed that you have done this work nicely or badly in whatever way. Who confirms that work? And the confirmation of that work and that affirmation can be only the reflected entity that is called Atman. Because the confirmation should also be there. That is why in Gita, Atma कुछ भी काम में नहीं रहती है, लेकिन साक्षी रूप में, in a visual, it will be there. It is a consciousness. If you don't have consciousness, its survival is endangered. That consciousness only becomes with a unit mind. It is unit consciousness. Then when it goes to the entire universe, then it is called cosmic. Then in this relation, if we come to a close study, even the Western people very easily can be will be convinced. The only theory is that putting forth and convincing them and giving the proper comparative study, they will come to know. Till this date, I say that till this date, there was the survival of material science domination. I said that now they have been endangered and they have no place at all, I say. Why? The scientific analysis, I challenge that you go and study Anandamurti's pravachanas. In every aspect, he has given a comparative study of the latest science, not a traditional way of his preachings are. That is why till now you have not consulted, we have not come across the literature. That is why we are unaware of, and we are in the only dome of the imagination. That imagination should be drawn out. Should be. Likely, today's the presentation of first speaker, our Vishnu Priyaji, it's a lot of comparative study of philosophy and science, and at the same time in the jar of medicine. Only the terminology of medicine is taken, quantum medicine. Actually, it is a quantum theory. Quantum theory abounding all the aspects of universe. At one side, she has given a study of Brahmanda, and another side is a Pinda. And Brahmanda already the emergence, but a little that means correction should have been done, because her in presentation was Laukik. Laukik is not in terminology of English physical. It is Laukik means mundane. Mundane, MUNDANE, mundane. And पारलौकिक उसके लिए बोला जाता है supramundane. And the last spiritual in all this, even in on the level of unit and cosmic. तो यहाँ पर जो terminology में अगर आते हैं तो थोड़ा थोड़ा you can find the particular abbreviations and interpretations in Anandamurti's pravachanas. Only you can find it in such a. Likely also, the terminology of Taraka Brahma you cannot find anywhere unless until being consulted in tantras. Sambhuti, Mahasambhuti, these can be found in many of the scriptural aspects. But whereas the terminology, some terminologies, you can only find in tantras and in Anandamurti's pravachanas. He himself clarified. You cannot find. And even the Gita reference also, I say that Tadatmanam Srujamyaham. What does it mean, Tadatmanam Srujamyaham? मैं अपने खुद पैदा होके आता है. अपना पैदा, तब हम लोग कैसे पैदा होके आए? हम लोग कैसा पैदा हुए? हम पैदा हुए वो इवोल्यूशन थियरी में. अगर समझते हैं, अगर इवोल्यूशन थियरी को भी, उसी को भी मैं बोलता हूँ, दशावतार में भी इवोल्यूशन थियरी है. First was the aquatic and second was amphibian. You even go to Dashawataras, it is nothing but evolution theory is interpreted. We come in the process of evolution. But when Taraka Brahma, when the dharma is endangered, dharma is put in a downtrodden stage, that also he said that अभ्युत्थानम अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्। अभ्युत्थान माने सिर्फ ऊपर रखने का मकुट अगर पैर पर चढ़ाया जाए तो उसको तो पतन ही हुआ, कहां तक पतन हो, उससे अधोपतन तो हो ही नहीं सकता। तो धर्म जब उतना पतन हो जाते हैं, उतना नीचे गिराया जाता है ये समाज, ये विश्व में, तब मैं जो है ना उत्थान करने के जो धर्म को फिर से उनकी स्थिति में एकदम रखने के लिए, स्थापित करने के लिए तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् बोले, माने मकुट वहां पहने से फिर लेकर के सिर पर रखने के लिए कितना प्रयास करना पड़ेगा, उसके लिए केवल वही आ सकता है जो महासंभूति, जो उन्हीं को बोलते हैं तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्। उन्होंने इवोल्यूशन प्रोसेस में नहीं आता, क्यों? व्हाई? दिस कॉस्मोस, द एंटायर यूनिवर्स इज क्रिएटेड बाय हिम, and the Prakriti will be ordered that you create a body for me in which I will enter. Then he enters directly in that body. According to his directions only, Prakriti works. It has to work. And he enters in that body. But whereas we are not. That is why the stage of Taraka Brahma will be in the silver line of Nirguna and Saguna, where the combination, the combining point is there, the juncture, the smallest and the smallest of the smallest will be the thinner line of Taraka Brahma. If he wishes to, he can be in the Saguna form, and if it does wish that he can become Nirguna, that will be the stage of Taraka Brahma. इसीलिए आनंद मूर्ति जी ने इसका सूत्र ही दिया, भावा भावा अतीतयो सेतु हो तारक ब्रह्म। भाव भाव में ही हो जाता है, उस भाव का ही लाइन है तारक ब्रह्म का। तो ये सब जो है, all these things, if they should be explained in a scientific way. Hello, am I audible? हाँ, am I audible?
आ रही आवाज आ रही है।
हाँ, तो if these things are explained in scientific way, in what way? In scientific way, then they have to understand. It is not that simply hearing also, if they discard it, becomes an ignorance of their part.
Sir Doma Sirji,
hello.
What we want to have from you, hello. You have shared a lot of great experiences with a special reference to the Lockic and Parlockic, all that. But since we are interested to have your valuable words in 2 sentences regarding the quantum medicine as per our Guruji Anand Murthy ji, because we have crossed our time limit as 9 p.m. It is already 9 past 8. So please, in 2 sentences, if you just enlighten us regarding the quantum medicine, whatever the form you tell me as per your Anand Murthy's Guruji's version, so that it will be understandable to us all. Thank you, sir. Sir. Hello. Sir Doma Sirji.
Hello.
Yeah, I want concise 2 sentences of full knowledge regarding the quantum medicine as per your Guruji's version.
The quantum medicine, before the quantum medicine only should be considered in the level of cosmic level and cosmic correlation with the unit. Then only the cosmic and the unit, these 2 should be, because the cosmos is also there which influence the body. And before that, if the medicine is concerned in a quantum theory, then we have to take the Brahmanda first, and Brahmanda which is reflected in Anda, then only the suitable adjustment of quantum medicine. Likely, that is why what I say, before going to medicine, taxing our brain to the medicine, first we have to think about the mental standard of the patient and mental illness and how far this, because everything, if for example, I am speaking now, if a mosquito stings me then it will be little pain for me. I even do not have the sense of that mosquito sting. Why? Because my mind is totally diverted towards a thought wave in the process, then that will not be there. Likely, if this thing is studied in the shape of quantum theory, before putting the medicine in quantum theory, first you understand the nature and the cosmos and correlation with the influence of the cosmos on the body. If this is considered, the medicine will be successful. Simply serving is not the successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Domaji, for your very nice, beautiful, and valuable points and suggestions, which enlightened us to today's webinar. And before we hand over the platform to Dr. Pawan Sharma ji, I would like to have some final remarks from Vaidya Rajan Patenkar ji. If at all he is with us, he may comment a few words for today's webinar and what is been lost and found situation on today's webinar overall. Vaidya Rajan Patenkar ji. Vaidya Rajan Patenkar ji is here.
Agnihotri ji.
Ji sir.
Agnihotri ji.
Ji, sir.
One simple addition that विष्णुप्रिया जी बोल रहे थे कि कृष्ण जब पैदा हुआ तो माया भी पैदा हुआ. Maya आया, माया का abbreviation or interpretation will come after the emergence of Mahasambhuti only. Before Mahasambhuti or along with Mahasambhuti, it cannot come out. That's why the creation has started with the influence of Nirguna Tattva with the three gunas. Then the Nada comes first. After Nada only, whatever Maya, Vidya or Avidya Maya can be termed. That is why, along with, if it is considered that Krishna, when Krishna is born, Maya is born, then Anandamurti said the day before yesterday's pravachan I did in Swadhyaya, that if we consider that Satan, then along with Paramatman, if Satan is there, then the challenging body is created to the Paramatman itself. Everything is in his Manasa Deha. We are all in Manasa Deha. Then one another God is there, which is called Satan. That is why he condemned it. That's why this Maya only, there is in two conditions, one Vidya Maya and Avidya Maya after the Saguna Brahma. Thank you very much.
You, sir. Thank you, sir. You are rightly telling that whatever the working of Maya is there, we are very little to say anything. But in fact, Maya भी तो परम पुरुष की इच्छा से ही आती है. परम पुरुष जब कहते हैं मुझे आना है, तो माया भी चलेंगे. नहीं तो ये सृष्टि का जो रचनात्मक और नौटंकी है, जो यहाँ पर जो लीला खेलेंगे, कैसे पूरी होगी? ये तो जरूरी है. और उसके लिए हमारे गुरुजी कहा करते थे कि चित्ती स्वतंत्रता विश्व सिद्धि हेतु. चित्ती स्वतंत्र है, वो किस रूप से कैसे काम करा सकती है. So with all these wonderful remarks and informations, blessings, I would like to.
इसीलिए अग्निहोत्री जी दैवी हेषा गुणमये मम माया दुरत्यया मामेव ये प्रपद्यन्ते माया में ताम तरन्ति ते. वहां माया का इतना डिस्क्रिप्शन है कि she is also powerful, but she is not powerful than Paramatman. She is only below the.
Okay, sir.
She can magic. She can do magic and put us in the web of that magic. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Before I hand over the platform to Dr. Pawan Sharma, sir, I would like to thank all our participants, our panel discussion person, Professor K.K. Pandey ji, our Doma ji, our Patenkar ji, our Naveen Gupta ji, and all the guest speakers. I would like to return back the platform to Dr. Pawan Sharma ji. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Dr. Pawan Sharma ji.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Agnihotri sir जी. Thank you. आज के दिन बहुत ही अच्छा रहा. एक अलग ही अनोखी ऊर्जा देखने को मिली. मैं डॉक्टर महालक्ष्मी, डॉक्टर विष्णुप्रिया जी, डॉक्टर पटनकर साहब सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। शुभ रात्रि। शुभ रात्रि। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू ऑल एंड गुरुजी प्रणाम और सभी को शुभ रात्रि। आज के हमारे सभी गेस्ट बंधुओं को बहुत बहुत प्रणाम, नमन। प्रोफेसर पांडे जी को नमन, और हमारे बीपी शर्मा साहब को, पवन शर्मा जी को हो गए, जयेश ठक्कर जी बाद में नहीं अपने विचार रख पाए, जगदीश डोमा जी, प्रेरणा जी, मिस स्टीना एंडरसन जी और नवीन गुप्ता जी, आप सभी आज हमारी इस वेबिनार से जुड़े। और हमारे गेस्ट स्पीकर्स प्रोफेसर विष्णु प्रिया जी, मोहंती जी, डॉक्टर महालक्ष्मी जी और वैद्य राजेंद्र पटंकर जी, आपने आज हमारे 392 वेबिनार को जो है वो आज सुशोभित किया। क्वांटम मेडिसिन बेस्ड ऑन क्वांटम थ्योरी, इस पर चर्चा ही। रिपीटिशन की कोई पुनरावृत्ति की आवश्यकता नहीं है। प्रोफेसर मोहंती जी का बहुत ही एक्सटेम्पोर विद ऑल नॉलेज, फिलोसफी, वर्किंग, चरक संगीता, स्पिरिचुअलिटी, लौकिक पारलौकिक सभी विधाओं को टच करते हुए और इवन रिलेशनशिप की भी वैल्यू को क्रिएट करते हुए उन्होंने सारी चर्चाएं की कि जो कुछ भी है ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वम जगत, ये भी वर्चा कर दी, कुछ छोड़ा ही नहीं। उनके ही लेक्चर पर ही ग्रंथ बन सकते हैं। और किस तरीके से उन्होंने कहा कि हम लोग यूनिवर्स से लिंक्ड हैं और वो लिंक अगर वहां बना रहेगा तो अच्छा है। लेट द रिलेशनशिप रिमेन स्वीट and sweet only, not the sweet and bitter. So very good thing, but one doubt is still there, that toothbrushing, whether it is indicated in morning, which influences the and lift out the letharginess and puts away the sleepiness. So what will happen if it is done regularly on after taking dinner? So he's told so many things. Practice-based evidence medicine is the quantum medicine. That was the last slogan. That practice-based evidence medicine is quantum medicine, and that really is not a thing to be seen physically. It is to be felt, and those who experience it, they can better inform that by intuition, by circumstances, it did well. So he also talked about that in what way the Krishna Paksh is valuable. That is valuable for Sir our Kuldeep Pandey ji, as she told that Krishna Paksh is more fairer for the surgery. काटना छाटना राक्षस प्रवृत्ति जो भी है वो कृष्ण पक्ष की है, और शुक्ल पक्ष में हमें कंड्यूसिव मेडिसिन या पैलेटिव मेडिसिन से को प्रोसीड करना चाहिए। ऐसे बहुत से उन्होंने विचार रखे और अध्यात्म की चर्चा की। अध्यात्म में आत्मा और मन को लेकर चलेंगे, चाहे चिकित्सा की पद्धति कोई भी हो, हमें हमेशा सफलता मिलती रहेगी। और इस बात को भी आगे बढ़ाया कि गुरुवादि गुण और परादि गुण दोनों को ही हम साथ लेके चलेंगे, तभी हम चिकित्सा के अंतर्गत निहित जो भाव है उसको ले चलेंगे। और उसके साथ साथ उन्होंने प्रैक्टिकली जितने डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन दिया अपने प्रेजेंटेशन में, जो उनके स्लाइड्स का स्टफ था, रियली दैट इज रेयर। मुझे तो डायरेक्ट संकोच छोड़ के पूछना पड़ गया कि आपको वो कौन सी एनर्जी है जिससे आपने कल प्रेजेंटेशन दिया, आज उससे भी सुपर कर दिया। तो ये जरूर कोई उनके पास अच्छी मशीनरी है, सिंस शी इज देयर इन कॉलेज। उन्होंने अच्छा काम किया। और जब महालक्ष्मी मैडम की बात करते हैं, उससे पहले राजेंद्र पटंकर जी ने अपनी चर्चा रखी, उन्होंने भी यही बात रखी कि चूंकि कोई सेक्टर छोड़ा नहीं है प्रोफेसर मोहंती ने, तो हम कहाँ चर्चा करें। फिर भी उन्होंने एक चीज जरूर बताई कि जहां तक गर्भ धारण का सवाल है, तो गर्भ धारण केवल और केवल एक फिजिकल एक्ट नहीं है, केवल फिजिकल एक्ट से संभव हो ये नहीं। जैसा कि उन्होंने भी कहा था, IVF भी केवल 43% ही सक्सेसफुल है, 67% वो में कहा जाएगा इसको, कितना 53% में कहा, 57% जो अनसक्सेसफुल होते हैं, वहां पर जो दैवयोग वाली बात है वो जरूर रिमिट करती है। उसी चीज को हमारे राजेंद्र पटंकर जी ने बताया कि यहाँ पर ये बहुत जरूरी है कि हम मंत्र चैटिंग और बहुत सारी रिसाइटेशन के बारे में भी अपने को सुरक्षित रखें। इसीलिए हमारे गर्भाधान मंत्र की भी चर्चा है, जिसके बदौलत हम और मानसिक रूप से सुरक्षित और संरक्षित हो जाते हैं कि हाँ हमारे प्रयास सफल होंगे। ये चर्चा की भी डॉक्टर महालक्ष्मी जी ने, जो अपने होम्योपैथी से आती है। उन्होंने अपना क्वांटम क्या है, क्वांटम और क्वांटम थ्योरी क्या है, जो फिजिक्स के टर्मिनोलॉजी में उन्होंने समझाई, और उसके बाद उन्होंने दिखाया कि होम्योपैथी में हम क्वांटम मेडिसिन को किस रूप में कंसीडर कर हमारे पास आज पैनल डिस्कशन में जो जुड़े हैं वो प्रोफेसर के पांडे जी, we are really fortunate enough that got Dr. Pandey ji again. On that very day, I was scared that he got some sunstroke or some high temperature. Even then, he managed. Told that in what way the previous spirituality roots are so deep that still we are exploiting, and if we are failing to exploit, we are also failing to get the reals. So this was the theme, and overall I appreciate everybody's participation today evening until 9:20. So thank you so much. Our greetings to all our speakers, and our thanks to Dr. Pawan Sharma ji, who made all this knowledge available through your mouth. So high quality thanks are very much due to Dr. Pawan Sharma ji and for whole team, and Dr. Doma ji, Dr. Vaidya Patankar ji, Professor Pandey ji, and all the learned best speakers who spared minutes for their valuable suggestion. We are indebted, we are feeling indebted for all their kind cooperation. Thank you so much. So today we would like to leave. Thank you, all of you, and good night. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.